What's up, America? It's Dave Sheridan, a.k.a. Doofy, and you're listening to The Horror Squad. And remember, don't disturb me while I'm listening to The Horror Squad.
Hello, welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast. This is episode number 210. Tonight we're talking about Scream 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to hold off on part 5 until Canada reopens the theaters for Steve or it comes on demand. I'm one of your co-hosts. We have Todd, Joe, Sam, and Steve. Real quick shout out to our Hong Kong listeners because we're on your iTunes charts, and that's freaking cool. So awesome. If you're a listener, email us, please. Tell us if there's some cool Hong Kong films, horror, otherwise. We'd love to check them out.
What's going on, guys?
What's up?
I'm currently buried in my house. Can't leave. We got about 2 feet of snow today, and it's crazy. Like, holy shit, just can't leave the house. So it's kind of like Krampus, just hanging out here and watching movies and working. Did you guys get any crazy weather this week?
Nothing too bad here. It was just really windy today. We lost power, just rain and wind. So yeah. Nothing too crazy though. No 2 feet of snow.
No snow, but it was super cold Saturday. I don't know the temp. Do you remember, Joe?
Yeah, it was like 5 degrees. It was pretty cold. Bone
just
chilling
5
for
degrees.
Sure.
Cool.
No, it was cold. Yeah.
That's summer weather for Steve.
Yeah, it was minus 40 last week here.
Steve's sunbathing in 5-degree weather.
Right.
Yeah, we got a couple inches. We went sledding today on 2 inches of snow, which was fun.
How fun.
It's fun, yeah.
You feeling better, Todd?
I'm feeling better, and I guess Joe's got what I got, so now he's under the weather, so keeps going around. Yep. Stay healthy and all that stuff, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wild card weekend just passed, everybody. I know Joe didn't have a good outcome.
No,
fucking butt reamed, but
we got spanked. Yeah, it was the first time in a long time where the Patriots weren't competitive in a playoff game. So
he's a rookie. He looked like one too.
He did. Yeah, it was the defense though. I'm sure most of our listeners don't care about football, but
raining blood and Dallas. Sorry, 49ers beat your team, buddy.
Ooh, yeah. Are you a Bengals fan, Todd? Is that what you are?
No, I grew up 49ers fan, but I'm near Bengals, fan, so I go to their stadium.
Okay.
I got 2 teams in, so that's nice.
Nice.
But did anyone watch the game on Nickelodeon?
I saw highlights, which is cool. They have SpongeBob.
I loved it. I was like, this is fun. I was like, I would totally watch football like this all the time.
Yes, they had slime cannons. We put it on for like a couple minutes, but man, the fucking camera angles are so bad. Like I couldn't even handle it. So I was like,
it wasn't the same
I need to go back.
Broadcast, just with
no. They had like different. It was definitely a different broadcast, but they had the camera angles like so far away, so they could do like the SpongeBob, like in the field goal post and stuff like that. Obviously to keep the kids entertained. So if you're like a real football fan, it was like downright unwatchable.
It was not that bad.
It was bad. Okay. I couldn't even see the guy going for a touchdown because they had the camera angle like 20.
Yes, you could. You're being so dramatic.
Did they have like Patrick on the field during plays and stuff?
No, but cool. Their first down line was like a slime thing, which was kind of fun. And yeah, I mean, every time they scored or kicked a field goal, like they had like these slime cannons that covered the entire field. So yeah. But anyway.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Cool. You guys ready to get some questions this week? You can ask us those questions on social media at the Horror Squad Podcast, or you can go on our Discord and join in all the fun conversations that we're having in there. A lot of snow conversations this week because a lot of people are getting hit with snow that don't usually get snow. So that's interesting. We talked a lot of horror as well this week. A lot going on. And I believe we have a spoiler room that's like kind of hidden from the main page, and people have been talking Scream in there. I think I had to mute it because I couldn't see Scream, but I'm assuming there's some crazy conversations, and I can't wait to join in and see what everyone thought of that movie. So it was a big week. A lot of Scream love this week on social media and in the group, and it's always nice when a bunch of horror fans kind of like have something in common that they all like and stuff. So it was a good time in there. So the first series of questions are audio questions, and they come from the man himself, Captain Amazing 85. That's Chuck. So Chuck, what is your first question.
Hey squad, Captain Amazing 85, aka Chuck, with a few questions. What is your favorite quote from any horror movie? Mine personally is "Welcome to prime time, bitch." Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, classic. What's yours?
Loaded
Classic.
question. Loaded question.
Classic.
Real loaded.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll stick with Scream here. What's your favorite scary movie? His delivery of the line, his voice, the context, the situation. I mean, it's been overdone for the last 5 movies. Still pretty good, though. Still like hearing that voice come through and say that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with I Know What You Did Last Summer. What are you waiting for, huh? Also, I've been having this quote in my head because of Scream, but it's from Scary Movie where Cindy's friend is in the living room. She's like, Cindy, I think there's something wrong with your TV.
I haven't seen it. We should cover that. That'd be fun.
We should.
Scary movie, yeah.
Yeah, I remember 1 and 2 being really, really good.
Yep.
They are. Even
That would be
they're
fun.
they all have their moments.
What number do they stop at? 4 or 5?
I think.
Maybe 5, yeah.
Yeah. 2.
They should
2
bring
is
it back.
my favorite, though.
5.
2 with
Two's
the
your
hand. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
do
that's
it myself.
great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Haunting, right? They mainly do on that one. Haunting and
The Exorcist.
Hollow Man.
There's the Exorcist in there. There's
Yeah.
there's a lot. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, the first one's pretty good too. I watched it when we did our Dave Sheridan interview, and
Nice.
yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. For the my line, my favorite's definitely "When There's No More Room in Hell, the Dead Will Walk the Earth" from Dawn of the Dead. But finding a new appreciation for "If I Had a Dick, This Is Where I Tell You to Suck It" from Betty White and Lake Placid. When I was editing together a Betty White memorial on that episode, I had to use that line because it's so funny. Like, her delivery is just perfect. She's great. And actually, it would have been her 100th birthday the day we were recording this. So yeah, rest in peace, Betty White. But she's still doing good in death, because today a bunch of people were donating to animal shelters, and I thought that was really cool that people are doing that in her name. I know I did it to the animal shelter that my mom kind of helps out at, so it's still doing good in their death, and she's awesome. We miss her.
I will go with "Here's Johnny" from
Definitely a
The
classic.
Shining.
I thought
Yes,
you were going to
classic.
say it from Twister.
Also from that movie when he's going after Wendy and he's like, "I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your fucking brains in."
Wendy. What does it say? Light of my life.
Yeah.
How romantic.
There's a lot of great Shining quotes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sam, question: Ghostface killer voice, sexy or not?
Yeah,
Ooh.
sexy.
Yeah, especially from the 5th one, because they have a conversation.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
It's
But-
nice.
Yeah.
I got to meet him for the first time last year.
Cool.
Roger Jackson. Yeah, he's been the voice for all 5 movies, so pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. All right, Chuck, what is your second question?
Out of Wes Craven's movies, which is your favorite? My personal favorite is Last House on the Left.
Classic.
That's tough too. I'm
That is
looking
tough.
letterboxed on this one.
I was thinking about this the other day, because he had some stinkers for sure in there in the middle, but man, like going from like Nightmare on Elm Street and then like 20 years later doing Scream, like that's pretty impressive. But I gotta go with Nightmare on Elm Street. I just love that franchise, and it was just like so different, like at the time for a horror movie. Like it was a really cool idea, and yeah.
Well, my highest ranked one for him is Scream, but I really have a soft spot for The Hills Have Eyes. So I'll do a 2-parter. Hills Have Eyes for his early ones, Scream for his later ones.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with Scream.
And I'm going to go Nightmare on Elm Street, just because I have nostalgia for it, and it was a really crazy idea that he somehow pulled off. So mad respect, but Scream would be my close second as well. And I still think that if we do a director retrospective again one day, it should be Wes Craven. There's, he doesn't have like a crazy huge filmography, so it wouldn't be like as bad as some others, but I think there's a lot of interesting
27
stuff.
films, Steve.
Yeah, but you don't have to watch them all. There's a lot of like
You don't have to. Music of the Heart. No,
Case Busters is about a dog. We don't have to watch that.
Paris Je t'aime. I don't even know what this is, but like,
what the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's
The Fireworks Woman. I think it's porn.
there.
It might be porn.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a porn
he
director.
did porn.
Yeah.
Yep.
What? He looks like a porn director.
Vampire in Brooklyn. Never seen that one.
Neither have I.
With Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Yep.
Paris Je t'aime. Did I say it okay?
Not even close. No, it's Paris Je t'aime.
That's close enough.
Yeah, so we'll definitely do that at some point. But now I think we're going to cover one movie for a week for a little while, just to take a break from multiple movies. But I mean, we are doing 4 of them right now, so that's 4 more out of his filmography. We won't have to necessarily rewatch her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
all right.
55% for him, so I'm close.
Pretty good. There you go. All right, so Chuck, what is your third question?
If you had to live in any horror town like Woodsboro, which town would you live in? Todd, Amityville is not an answer. You can't just say, I'm not going to go into the water. That's lame. You've got to deal with the repercussions of living in a spooky town. So, which one do you choose? I personally am going to go to New Orleans and deal with Victor Crowley. I don't mind. Him and we can share a swamp, just like, Shrek and Donkey. I'm Shrek, he's the donkey. It's going to be good times.
Victor Crowley, kill your ass, man. So I can't do Amityville and not go in the water.
These are good questions.
Got me.
These are
Amity
good
Island.
questions.
Well, mine's not a horror movie per se, but I feel like it has some horror tones. It's a show called Pretty Little Liars, located in Rosewood, and that's where I would live because it's very like a quaint town, but then they can just take the train to go into the city, and it's always gloomy there, so it's like very spooky.
How long before they think you're A and you did it? Because isn't that what the whole show is about? Like finding A.
There's A2, A3, A4.
Oh boy.
A24.
Yep.
The greatest. I'll just keep it simple and say Woodsboro. It just seems like a really nice, quaint little town. I mean, there's a killer there, but there's a chance you can survive it.
Yeah, just don't be a cool kid and you're good.
Yeah.
Stay out of the cool kid crew.
Well, if you're not the cool kid, then you're the killer usually. So
I don't know. All the killers are cool kids.
Are they?
So,
well, we'll get into it. I don't know about part 4.
I have a newfound respect for part 4, which surprised me when I watched it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going Antarctica. The Thing. Outpost.
Ooh,
hanging out with my
that.
homies. Hanging out with my homies.
Wow.
Got some books. Got some movies. Got a ping pong table. Hopefully no alien. We're good.
You could talk to the woman on the computer there.
Sexting.
Play chess with who is the voice? Adrian Barbeau, right?
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
She's a babe.
Mm-hmm. I think it was Carpenter's wife at the time, right, or something, right?
Really?
Were they married? I think so. I could be wrong, but
I didn't know that either.
yeah, maybe. I could
Google
be completely wrong about this.
Google
I'm
that.
gonna Google this.
Does Halloween Town count from Nightmare
Yes.
Before Christmas? That would be fucking awesome, just to
Mhm.
live Halloween every time. But if I feel like taking a break, I go to Christmas Town and then maybe have some hot dogs at what is it, like 4th of July Town? Yeah, I think it'd be fun to always be in holiday mode. We're so.
Mhm.
I
That'd
hate
be
Oogie
nice.
Boogie though. I couldn't live in that town.
Oh, really? Yeah.
What about he's scary, dude.
Or Halloween Town from Halloween Town?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as Marley leaves me alone with her attitude,
Right.
Oh,
good.
teenage angst.
Yep.
John Carpenter and Adrian Barbeau were married from 1979 to 1984. So there you go.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Never knew that.
There you go. That's trivia you could add.
Yes.
You just threw in the
The
bin.
more you know.
Right. All right. So, Chuck, what is your final question?
Last but not least, Miss Halloween Happy, I thoroughly enjoyed your drink recommendation last week. And Can't wait to see what it would be this week because I'm changing from food recommendations and pairings to drink recommendations and pairings. So, what killer drink should we try with Scream?
Well, hell, I forgot to look up one. Let's see. Ghostface, Scream, Blood.
Bloody Mary?
I was thinking Bloody Mary, but I didn't know if that was too lame.
Do you like Bloody Marys?
I like the thought of a Bloody Mary, but when I actually have one, I'm like, yeah, it's not what I thought it would be.
Me too. It's got a good presentation, but it's like I don't like the spice mix and all that.
It's the tomato for me. Like
Oh, the
I like
V8?
it. Yeah, it's like it's just that taste of the V8 I don't like. If it was more saltier and spicier, then I think I would really like it.
Nice. Get some Mountain Dew Code Red for the non-drinkers.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, Code Red is really good. I don't even know
I
if they
love it.
still make it.
Yeah, I
Pretty
think
sure they do. Yeah.
They do?
Yeah,
Classic
Yeah.
fruit punch, maybe.
I have one.
Let's
Code
hear
Red.
it.
I looked it up, but it is called the serial killer.
Oh,
Cereal, like cereal,
food?
Like
like
cereal,
food.
yeah.
Yes. So it would be cereal of your choice. You can use, whatever you want,
Mhm.
and then put vanilla frosting on the rim with the cereal of your choice, and then add 1.5 ounces of cognac, 2.5 ounces of whole milk, 1 dash vanilla extract, and 1/4 ounce of simple syrup.
Hmm.
I don't know.
think I would do,
Cereal
like-
sounds funky.
Well, you have to crunch it up. So I would do like cinnamon toast, like crunch it up to where it's just dust on the rim.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
What's
I
each
like
of
it.
your favorite cereals? Just out of curiosity.
Ooh,
I like a
Captain
top
Crunch.
3. Captain Crunch is dope.
Captain Crunch
Mhm.
is good. Yeah.
I like Pops. You guys like Pops?
Yeah, I do.
I haven't had
Yeah.
Pops in forever.
Pops are good, man. They're freaking sold out the other day.
I miss the Oreo O's.
They don't have those anymore?
I haven't seen them.
Let's go
I
check.
think they do have them though. I think I've seen
Well,
them.
the store we go to doesn't have any fun cereals.
Cocoa Puffs
No,
fans out there?
Yeah. I like most cereals, honestly. There's like not many cereals I don't like. Like,
Yeah,
Um,
Joe loves cereal.
yeah, I'm a big fan of Fruity Pebbles as well.
Classic for sure. I like Fruit Loops as well.
Mm.
I always thought that was a good one. But
Yeah.
Captain
Go
Crunch is definitely my current
Mhm.
favorite. But as I've said in the past, my all-time favorite is Mr. T cereal, which is just Captain Crunch in a tea form.
Eat it,
Right.
Tea on the box, so.
Now, are you just plain old Captain Crunch, or do you like the Captain Crunch with crunch berries?
No. I don't like it besmirched by other crap. Just plain old
Steve
Captain
likes
Crunch.
plain
What about the
burgers.
peanut butter Captain Crunch?
For the peanut? Oh, yeah, that's pretty good too.
Okay, so this is a thing for people who want to know the difference between Canada and the US. So in Canada, we don't have these crazy like selections of things like that. Like we tend to have one of each, in a grocery store. And then I go to the US to a grocery store, and it's like there's 2 fucking aisles of different cereals. And I'm like,
Capitalism, baby.
what the hell is this? Like,
Mhm.
What kind of chocolate you want? We got it all.
you have
Yeah.
like purple Captain Crunch and
This will make
holiday
shit come
Captain
out green.
Crunch and Captain
Ooh,
Crunch
I
with
love holiday
marshmallows.
Captain
It's
Crunch.
like, yeah, it's crazy. No, we don't have all that. So plain old
Now-
Captain
oh.
Crunch.
Well, here's a question for you. Do you have like 20 different Oreo styles like we do?
No, like yeah, there's 2. There's regular, no, there's 3. Regular, double stuffed, and the thin ones. Like that's
Oh,
Okay.
you have thin ones? I haven't seen thin ones.
yeah, there's
They got
there's-
thin. Yeah, we got thin ones.
Okay.
No, we don't have all those crazy fucking gingerbread and
We got everything, dude.
yeah, like
Everything.
mint
Everything.
and all this. Yeah.
Chips too. You guys have a lot of different chips.
We
got,
actually have
like,
different chips that you
chicken
guys
and
do,
waffles and-
which is
really?
interesting. Yeah, like ketchup chips and all
Oh, we have
dressed
those.
chips are things that it's
Hmm.
but it's the same thing. Like we have way less choice than you guys do for everything.
Mhm. Do you at least get the Halloween and Christmas themed Oreos?
Yeah, it's just basically Oreos are colored orange usually.
Yeah,
The
right.
orange
yeah.
ones, the orange ones taste better though.
They do.
Yeah,
I
they
agree.
do.
All right. So thank you, Chuck, for the audio questions. We love the audio questions when we get them. Next series of questions are from Weezerface. She asks, I'll do the obvious one. Hello, squad. What's your favorite scary movie?
What's your favorite scary movie? Let me hear it. Joe's pretty good with voices. Let me hear it.
I don't think I can do a good ghost face. Although Sam said I did a really good Alamo the other day when we were over with my friend's baby.
When you were role playing.
My
He's in a
face
fucking
lit
suit.
up. I really felt like I was talking to Elmo. Do it, Joe.
My Elmo?
Yeah.
Oh God. All right,
He's working up. He's working it up, people. He's getting
Working
ready.
it up. Working it up.
Stretching.
Yeah. Hi, Sam. No, I can't. I can't do it good right now. I can actually see. I had the Elmo doll in front of me. I needed it. You know.
You're playing with a kid?
It was
Yeah,
close.
Nice.
My my friend's little baby.
Sam's got that baby fever now. Look at her.
Oh.
Hi, Sam. It's Elmo. No, that wasn't that good. I did better the other day.
Yeah, you did.
I
was
can't
good,
do a
though.
good ghost face.
Oh boy, it's me, Mickey Mouse. There's my Mickey.
That's pretty good, Todd.
Thank you.
Hey, Joe, do your voice for Kermit the Frog here.
That's a good
God.
Kermit right there.
Hey,
Hi ho, Kermit
Hey-o.
the Frog here.
for the rest of the show, we're gonna talk like this.
All the Hong Kong people are signing off. Like, I don't get the fuck this reference.
Well, hello, Sydney.
We'll work on
What's
it.
your favorite scary movie?
hello, Sydney.
Did
Did that sound
you actually have a voice changer? Like,
I did.
bro,
Yeah.
No,
did you
I
have one?
wanted one.
Was it a talk boy like in Home Alone?
I had a talk boy too. The thing was awesome. I got a voice changer I never opened. It's in like I have a ghost face figure that came with a voice changer.
That's dope.
It's still sealed in the box, yeah.
All right, favorite scary movie, Dawn of the Dead. Easy.
Shining.
Halloween.
And Dawn of the Dead.
To be
Mhm.
clear, Sam is saying Halloween Part 2, Rob Zombie's version. Not
No.
Oh.
no.
I was just listening to an interview of Rob Zombie.
Yeah, was it good?
It's just his
It
birthday.
was like it was an old one. Yeah, it was just his birthday. It was an old one. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
I didn't know he was on that podcast. That's cool.
It was really
like-
good.
I like when he gets actors and stuff because he's a pretty good interviewer.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's
Oh.
hot or Rob Zombie's hot?
Rob Zombie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, to be clear, because we're talking about both.
Yeah, right. All right. So Weezerface's second question, and this is a good one. I'm having trouble with this one. Which Scream 1 to 4 had the hottest cast?
Ooh.
To me, this is easy. I gotta go part one. I mean, you got Rose McGowan,
Fucking
Just-
babe in that one, man.
Smoke
Drew
showing that.
Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Yep.
Hottie.
I mean,
Courtney Cox.
young
Hottie.
Nev, younger
Yeah.
Courtney. Yeah. And then you have who else we got in there? Anyone else?
Well, let's go for the ladies or the alternates here. We got the dudes.
Yeah, the men
We got
too.
Stu, good looking cat.
Yeah.
We got
Mhm.
Skeet, good looking
Billy.
cat.
Yep.
Dewey, hot or not, Sam?
Sometimes
Sometimes younger or older or just bits and pieces.
bits and pieces.
Okay. Do you like his grizzled look in the newest one?
Yes.
Old man Dewey.
Mhm.
Then you got the Fonz playing the principal in the first one. You know, for the older generation. I like the girl that played Kirby in part 4 though. She's babe,
Yeah.
blonde chick.
Hayden Panettiere.
I mean, two. You had Sarah Michelle Gellar, hottie.
Yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith. Hottie.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
definitely.
Yeah.
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 Oh, I hate her
Mhm.
acting,
Oh, really?
especially in the new Matrix movie.
Oh man, she's great in
Fucking
Demon Knight.
terrible.
Laurie
She's good-
Metcalf.
She's good in that.
Yeah,
Lord
Metcalf.
That movie is
can't-
perfect.
I can't unsee her as her character in Roseanne. I just can't.
Jackie. Yeah.
Jackie, I
We've
can't,
actually been
like-
watching. We've been watching a lot of Roseanne lately. So now, like, yeah, I was like, young Jackie, pretty hot. I gotta say. in
Yeah.
Roseanne.
Yeah, first couple seasons there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, when she was a cop. Like after she stopped being a cop,
Oh, come
Yeah.
on.
It just depended. It depends. She had some like
the
hairdos
hair,
that
the
wasn't
hair,
into.
it's the
Yeah.
hair
Yeah.
that could do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So part 3, you got the original cast plus the actors that play them. Well, I
Mhm.
mean,
Yeah,
Gail Weathers is super hot as Courtney Cox.
yeah. Even the Gale in that was pretty good looking too. I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
she wasn't bad, but yeah, definitely not like compared to like part 1. So yeah, I'm going part 1 cast followed by part 2, and then I would probably go part 4 and then part 3. That's how I'm ranking my hotness cast.
Hold
there.
up, Honey's got the hot cop in part 3 though. You got it. Can't
Who-
sell out Doctor whatever his name is.
In part 3, wait, the bodyguard guy.
No, no, the
Buddy?
detective. The detective. Isn't he playing a doctor?
McDreamy.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's
That's right.
handsome.
That's right. What's his name? Patrick
Dempsey.
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 There you go.
Yeah. That is true.
Part 5
3
was
also had
lacking.
Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah, part 5's lacking.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Part 5 probably is lacking as far as the
I'll
hotness
go 1 and
scale.
4. I'll go 1 and 4 from a 1 and 2 shot.
I like it.
I'm gonna do 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, 1 and 4. I think. Definitely. Yeah, some good ones in there. All right. So next question comes to us from Emily. She says, "Ghostface mask is so iconic. Might even be my favorite. Which horror mask is your personal favorite?"
Tough one.
Great question. It's a great question. Oh man,
I gotta go Leatherface original. It's human
Yeah.
skin. It's human skin. You know, it's pretty gross.
I was just looking back at my wall of masks.
Me too. So I'm looking at
I
it.
automatically looked at the Leatherface one first, and I was like, yeah, Leatherface pretty fucking terrifying. Like, can't beat it, really.
Pinhead's a good look too.
Yeah, that's not a mask though, you know.
That's true.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And Jason's mask is so iconic.
Iconic, but it's not scary, really.
Well, it's not scary.
You know?
But the question's
Yeah.
It was in the beginning.
it says what's your favorite, not what's the scariest.
Favorite. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite. All right.
I'll go with Leatherface.
Yeah, I think I gotta go Leatherface too.
I'm gonna go with Ghostface.
Oh, I thought you'd go
It's a
Michael
good one.
Myers.
I mean,
The
I was
most
trying.
inconsistent, definitely Michael Myers though. Like,
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
There's some
Yeah.
stinkers.
Oh my god, yeah.
I think Rob Zombie's got the best one though. Even over the original. His damaged one from part 2 is freaking really cool.
It's a pretty good one. Even the new one's good, like 2018 and
yeah.
Halloween Kills. Good masks. What's the worst one? Part 5, right?
Oh.
I would say.
Whatever one where it looks like a
Is it 4 or 5? One of the two.
I think
is
it's
like,
5.
Five.
5's really bad. Yeah.
I don't know how they messed that up either.
Right. Yeah.
Why are they all so different? Is my question. Like why?
Right.
Like I don't get it. Like
it's like
why did
they go
do,
to
like,
a store and
completely
just
change
pick one up.
them?
Yeah. I'll agree with Leatherface. It's definitely the coolest. But Jason's the first one I think of when I think of a horror mask. So I got to give huge props to that one. Her second question: who's the best and worst character in the franchise? Talking about Scream.
Ooh,
Great-
this is a
Great question.
Best and
Really great
worst.
question.
Like the one you, I guess, dislike them the most.
Yeah.
The character you didn't like the most. That's easy for me. Detective Hicks. Detective Judy Hicks.
That's
from
Sheriff
Part-
Hicks.
Why do you hate her so
Dude,
much?
she's a babe, man.
I
Sheriff
don't
Hicks.
understand.
I-
Joe hates her.
She's Wendy from Sandlot.
Can't
What's wrong with you?
She is. I couldn't stand her. I couldn't stand her in Part 4. Couldn't stand her in Part 5.
She wanted that Dewey dick, dude.
She did. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't
Seven
like it.
squares.
I didn't like her character. So I'll go with her for my least favorite.
Her only crime was letting her son have that hair dye in part 5.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's hot.
Who's still,
Come on.
we'll talk about this later, but like who still bleaches their hair blonde in like
A
2020?
lot of people do. A lot of the
Do
young
they?
90s are coming. 90s are back, dude. You should
the
look
young
at the
Alright.
fucking kids.
do.
They got mullets walking around and everything.
I mean, favorite's easy too, Randy. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's most people's favorite, I would say.
Not mine.
Who's your
Oh.
favorite, Sam?
My favorite? I don't know. I kind of like Gail. She gets a lot of flack. She goes
Gail's
after
good.
what she wants.
She's a strong woman.
Her and Nev are both strong women characters, but I'm kind of tired of them, to be honest with you. Well, we can't talk about 5, huh?
I mean, my least favorite is someone from 5.
Which one?
Shall I say it?
Well, it's just a character.
Half
I
of
already
me
know who
wants
you're
to
gonna
say
say.
Sam Carpenter, but the other
Yeah.
half, like, it's
Oof,
still
she's the worst.
marinating, guys. It's still marinating.
Still in the crock pot.
hmm
Um,
No, actually, I lied. It's Amber,
Amber.
the friend.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh yeah. Favorite? I'll go Dewey. I'll be different from Joe. Dewey's
All right.
Dewey's awesome. Plus he's cute.
Want
He's a
some-
nerd, dude. He's
Showing
fun.
some Dewey love. Okay.
Dewey. And then least favorite is I'm gonna go with the new Scream Queen wannabe. She's not Nev, guys. She's not Nev, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I kind of forgot about her already. She's probably my least favorite too.
My favorite is also Randy. I mean, for obvious reasons. You know, I think we just relate to him as horror fans. My least favorite is a 2-way tie. Now, of course, I haven't seen the 5th one, so I have no knowledge of what happens there. but I did not like Cotton at all. There's just something about his voice and his mannerisms, and he's not a fun character at all. And I don't like, I think it's Robbie from part 4, the one that always has the camera attached to his head.
Oh, I like Robbie.
Yeah. He tries too hard.
Yeah.
I would totally be his friend in high school.
Try
totally.
hard.
I'd be in cinema club for sure.
I would be too, but he'd be the guy that's like a little too much cinema club for me, like just, yeah. But Cotton is probably my least favorite character in the series, I would say. All right. So next question is from Horror Fan Ryan. Any chance to make trivia even more fun and have the 4th place finisher has to get a haircut like Courtney Cox in Scream 3?
That's gonna be a no, dog. Because it'll be me.
Sam, you're leading right now, dude. So
it should be, yeah. All right. Or the guy, whoever finishes last for guys has to grow a dewy mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Or bleach tips. Yeah.
No, mustache, because we shave that shit off.
Yeah.
Wait,
hilarious.
Going back to the worst character, why didn't any of us say Sydney's mom?
Oh, good call.
We're gonna talk about this, but she's a terrible person.
She's the fucking worst, dude. Her dad's a fucking champ, though, putting up with this shit.
Yeah, right.
He's cute too.
Is he?
He's cute.
Man, okay. Take care of you. He's got a nice house.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the last question.
Wait, we gotta make this official. We're doing a Dewey stash at the end of the year for the man.
For 4th
place.
I don't really want to shave my beard. But
you're shaving it. All right. So Joe has to dye something. I'll
dye my beard. I'll dye my whole beard blonde in honor of Wes.
I'll do the mustache.
I like it. All right, we got mustaches and some bangs.
Yeah.
You should just bleach your hair, Joe, because that'll grow out fast and you just shave it.
All right, I'll do that. If I finish last,
your beard would be all. You would have to like shave it off.
You're right. I'll do the bleach tips. I'll bleach my hair tips.
So,
I'll do the frosted tips. Yeah.
All right, and the last question we got this week is actually
write
directed.
That down in the score sheets.
As if one of you guys are gonna come in last place. I love that you guys are just playing along. So nice of you.
Well, no, okay, we'll make it then. If
whoever finishes last
you're last place, if you're last place,
if
then
I'm last place, guys, I'll cut my bangs a little, not as short as Gail's, but pretty short, to where I have to wear a beanie for the rest of winter season.
Perfect. I'm writing it down so we won't forget.
All right.
But I'm also able to change my mind if I want.
Yeah, I don't see you doing that.
You can make it a whole episode on your, like a YouTube series, changing your hair to look like Gail Weathers.
Wear like a bright colored suit.
Yeah.
So our last question for tonight is from Kayla and is directed at Todd. Would love to hear a mini review of Frozen from Todd. Also, thank you for this episode. Been waiting forever.
Well, I didn't rewatch it because I had a headache for multiple days and it sucked balls. But my old website that I started back in 2011 is still active, and I reviewed this movie for it, which I haven't updated since 2011 either, by the way. So I gave it 8 out of 10 back then. So I guess it's pretty high in the score, but I don't remember it being an 8 out of 10 worthy. But I remember not liking how the wolves were used and that the characters made a lot of bonehead decisions. And I felt like the situation could have been solved easier than what they were trying to accomplish. So that's my mini review, not seeing it since 2011.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? Real mini review. Yay or nay?
Sam and I both liked it, and Steve was the dissenting voice.
Yeah, I was like like a 5.5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah, I already forgot what I rated. I think I gave it a 7.5, and I think Sam was around that too.
Yeah, it's just we had a pretty big conversation about it, so it's just a lot of issues, especially like you said, bonehead decisions, like jumping feet first was the stupidest thing ever. And
break your legs, fucker.
Right.
Todd, when would you have like started freaking out or tried to figure out like, okay, I need to figure something out because
probably very close to the beginning of the problem, not sit there and freeze.
That's
forever.
What I said. Yeah.
I was on a lift like a month ago, and I'm like, oh shit, if this is a Frozen scenario, what can you do? And there's like a lot of like safety stuff built into those things. So, I mean, it's obviously a horror movie, but there's like
I don't know if you knew this.
Pretty easily.
I don't know if you knew this, Todd, but the film, we talked about this last week, but it was filmed completely practically. Like they filmed it like literally 50 feet in the air, like on a ski lift.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah. On location. Yeah.
Where was that filmed at?
I think it was like Utah. Something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So thank you everyone for the questions. We could not do this segment without you, but now since we're all suffering from a little cold, it's a little crazy out there, I think we need something to warm the taste buds, warm us up a little bit. So let's how about we give you a deal for a really cool, silky smooth Silk City hot sauce.
Greetings, Spice fans. Silk City Hot Sauce is now sponsoring the Dorkening Podcast Network. Our craft sauces are made in Vermont in small, high-quality batches using locally sourced, farm-grown ingredients. Silk City Hot Sauce comes in a variety of heat strengths and killer flavors like Jezebel, Erotic Fever, Mango Madness, and Good Morning Jonestown. And don't forget our newest creation, Hot Syrup. Make no mistake, Spice fans, this is the queen of sweet heat. There's new and unique flavors coming out all the time. Best of all, right now, listeners of the Dorkening Podcast Network can go to silkcityhotsauce.com and use coupon code DORK. Not only will you get 20% off your order, we'll also throw in a free bottle of hot sauce. That's silkcityhotsauce.com. Coupon code DORK.
Trivia time. Game number 2. Sam currently in the lead with a solid 6 points. Joe 5, Steve, Todd 1 each. Who would like to lead off? The stakes are high now. We got mustaches. We got bleached tips. We got funky bangs.
That's right, baby. All right. So obviously in honor of our Scream retrospective tonight, I am doing all Scream trivia. I have 4 questions for you tonight.
Ooh.
So I got 3 plus 1 bonus, 1 from each movie in the franchise.
Okay.
In honor of tonight. So, all right, let's start off with part 1 trivia. How many times does the killer call Casey Becker in the opening scene?
3.
4 on the board. 3 on the board.
5.
5 on the board. You were all incorrect.
No.
The correct answer is 6.
Really? 6.
Yes.
6.
All right. I'm going to lead it with all Scream related as well. Mine are all part 3 and 4 related, however.
Oh.
All right. Scream, part 3. What's the name of Cotton Weary's TV program?
Oh,
God.
100%
Live
Cotton.
with
Steven, correct.
There you go.
Incorrect?
Correct.
No, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
100.
LA drivers, 100% cotton. Shout out Cotton. Douche. Hitting on the random women on the highway.
Yeah, it's I really don't like Cotton. All right. So my first trivia question comes to us from Missy Lap 3. So Melissa, thank you very much for the question. I really appreciate it. Mine are not Scream because I thought we weren't doing trivia, so I wasn't prepared for it at all.
Boo.
So she's asked, what are the names of the 3 bikers in Friday the 13th, part 3?
Good question. Good fucking question, man.
That is a good
You have the very large African-American gentleman. You have the little Asian Hispanic woman. And then you have the grungy white gentleman.
Can you repeat the question? I was trying to find my trivia.
What are the names of the 3 bikers in the Friday the 13th, part 3?
Oh, no idea.
Like, even if you guess 2 of them, I'll give you the point.
Earl and
Oh.
No.
Lisa. Okay. Thanks for nothing.
It's
yeah, God, I don't know.
It's something. It's like a nicknames.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think.
2 of them are nicknames. One's more of a real name.
Fuck.
You guys give up?
Switchblade.
Yeah.
Chains.
No, you're not.
And
You're not.
Axel. Axel's one.
All right.
Yeah.
So the answer was Allie, Fox, and Loco.
Loco. Loco, I believe, is the female. I think, but could be wrong.
It's not Allie. You would think.
Yeah, you're right.
Unless it's Ali.
I don't know. Hey, you know,
It
you
could
can
be
do whatever you
Ali.
want now.
Yeah.
Loco must be the little guy. All right, Samsonite.
All right. Mine's Scream related as well.
Nice.
I just came up with them.
Mm.
Well, I just
Good,
found
good.
them. All right. The Mask is inspired by The Scream, a painting by which...
Salvador Dali.
Edward
Shut
Munch.
up, Joe. Fuck off.
Is it?
You had that as your trivia question, didn't you?
No,
Wait,
Liar.
it's Salvatore Dali?
I thought it was.
It's not Edward Munch?
Oh, you Steve's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why are you
damn
yelling at me?
Steve
I was
is
just
right.
like, yes.
Yes.
Because you answered first, so I thought you had it as your trivia question.
I took art as part of my film, so I'm like, wait a minute.
You just have it all. All right.
She was yelling at me and I was wrong.
Right.
I figured you were cheating.
No. All right. Scream 2 trivia here.
Mhm.
Second question. This one's pretty easy, so be ready for it. But all right. What is the name of the college?
Windsor College.
I knew you were going to say that.
Correct.
I was going to say stab, but just
Stab? What?
I was just kidding.
Stab University. SU.
Is Windsor a real place? I don't even know.
No, but I forget what college it was actually filmed at because they just did a screening there
Ooh,
where
that'd be fun.
that's
they
cool.
showed the
Now
movie.
there's going to
in
be a
the-
real killer there.
I'll Google it. But they're actually going to be doing a screening in the cafeteria, like where he sings to Sydney.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking nerd.
Awesome.
Was it Jerry O'Connell?
Yeah.
Yes.
little Cutie.
Fucking nerd.
Definitely Sydney's best boyfriend, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean,
Billy. I'm just kidding. All right. Number 2. What's Sydney Prescott's alias she uses while working the women's hotline?
Linda.
Laura.
Joe with Laura, correct.
Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Hi, this
Thank
is
you.
Laura. It's my Sydney. Hi.
All right. We all know Sam Loomis from Halloween, but what other horror movie featured a character of the same name?
Yes.
Oh.
I can't think of it, but I know I've heard this before. God,
Fucking shit.
it's definitely a franchise movie. I feel like.
There are multiple titles of this horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Scream.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Fuck.
Urban legend.
Wrong.
No.
Oh, don't tell me no.
It's Hatchet.
You guys give up?
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
No. It's Psycho.
Ah. All right. And Windsor College was Agnes Scott College in Decatur, Georgia, if I'm pronouncing that right. Yes.
Sam?
So there you have it.
All right. In Scream 1, when Casey's parents come home, Casey's dad tells his mom to go where? I need
Go
a
down the
neighbor's
street
house.
to the Mackenzies.
I hate you, Joe.
Joseph. Big Daddy Joseph.
Thank you. Thank
Hey,
you.
Joe. Scream.
And it's
3.
back to me. Scream 3 trivia. What was the name Sydney's mother used as her
Oh,
stage name?
She shouts it at him in the fucking Lance
Yeah.
Anderson.
Was it Lindsay something? Oh, fuck.
Gosh, dang.
Linda.
Is it something Flynn?
Not Sharon Stone.
Let's face it, your mom's no Sharon Stone.
I don't remember.
All right. The correct answer is Rena Reynolds.
Oh, shouldn't. Oh, because of fucking Princess Leia, the
That's right.
connection. Oh gosh, Debbie
Yep.
Reynolds. Yeah, darn it. Good one.
Mhm.
All right. Final one for me. Saw 4 related. In Stab 6 opening
Ooh.
scene in Scream 4, what movie does a girl want to watch?
The Exorcist?
Remember, there's a couple cold openings with Stab movies.
Yes.
So Exorcist is on the board. The girl
The Ring.
suggests The Ring is on the board.
Wait, what movie did you say?
So in Scream 4, there's 2 cold openings where they're watching Stab movies, and they're showing their cold openings for the.
Oh.
So she's like, I want to watch this horror movie. And then they
Saw.
start talking. Sam.
Oh, that's
Saw.
right. Yeah.
All
four.
right.
Woo woo.
Good job.
All right.
Wendy
Rob-
Peppercorn.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's fucking hot.
In Rob Zombie's reimagined version of Halloween, who is the first victim of Michael Myers?
The stepdad.
Wrong.
Fuck
The
me, dude.
bully.
That's
Yeah,
the
she was
bully
right.
guy.
Fuck.
Todd.
Damn it, Joe.
I mean, Joe got it.
Timmy, what's his name?
I forget his name.
Wesley Rhodes.
Big douchebag that deserved it. That's his name.
Yeah, that scene makes my stomach hurt.
Yeah,
He
that's a
deserves
good.
it, no?
It makes me feel.
I mean, I don't think anyone
nauseous.
deserves to get murdered.
I mean, there's some people that deserve
Well,
it.
some people, yeah, sure. Like
Stepdad
I guess
deserves it in that movie.
pedophiles and whatnot.
He was a pedophile. He was talking about the teenage girl's body, so
He was
borderline.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so is Michael Myers, because we established that when we talked about it, because he made what's her face get naked in part 2 for no reason before killing her. Danielle
In
Harris.
Rob Zombie Halloween too.
Yeah, Danielle Harris.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sexual predator, that Michael Myers.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Alrighty. Which couple was date? Okay, I'm this multiple choice. Okay, guys.
Okay.
Oh
Don't
shit.
don't answer until I.
Does that mean we all
Say
get
them all.
this?
What?
Yeah.
How
Because
many
when it's
options are
multiple
there,
choice,
Sam?
it's always like tricky. So do we each get to answer, or how does it work?
What do you mean? Like just whoever says it first?
Is it who says it? Because multiple choice is always tricky. I know because I did it on.
Fine. Which
Dealer's
performers?
choice. How many options do we have first before?
David
No,
Arquette and
it's-
Courtney Cox.
It's not going to be multiple
up, Steve.
choice. Okay, ready? Which performers dated during the film of Scream?
David Arquette and
Yeah,
Courtney
yeah.
Cox.
We got David Arquette and Courtney Cox.
That's the answer.
Matthew Lillard and Nev Campbell. I know for a fact they dated.
Whatever, Joe. It is Nev Campbell and Matthew Lillard.
Oh, God damn it.
Really? Dickface didn't plow Gail Weathers during the filming?
I mean, maybe he did, but
I mean, they
They
got
got married,
married.
didn't
They got married during like, the
Judges, go back
movies,
to the
so-
judges with this one. I'm not
Well, they might not have been dating for during part 1. I don't know if that was
Why
a
are you
specific
yelling?
question.
Why are you yelling,
Am
Joe?
I? Sorry.
yeah. it's
Sorry.
like,
Wait, so
I'll
for
back off.
Joe then?
It might be 2 points. We'll see.
yeah, give Steve a point
Alright,
too.
okay.
Just because Joe's yelling.
4, and then 1 for Steve, so that's 3. Okay. You have your bonus question?
Yes, Scream 4 related.
Mm.
All right.
When you
So,
Capricorn.
in Scream 4, Sidney Prescott has written a very successful book.
Out of
What is
Darkness,
the
baby.
name of the book? That is correct.
Out of darkness.
Good job, Todd.
Thank you.
Sydney really write a book though?
It's in my notes.
Yeah,
so
I
had
think
it
so.
somewhere.
She been through a lot.
She'd have a
No, but she
ghostwriter.
was such a not. I don't want to say bitch, but it's like she was so mad at Gail for
Exactly.
doing all of the media stuff. I don't think she really would have.
Exactly. Sam.
Yeah,
I thought she
but
was a
They just
hypocrite.
needed something for her to do
Mm.
because it would have been the same old same.
No, it's different. It's different though, because Gail's books like were exploitative, whereas like hers was more about like her story and her like story of survival and whatnot.
I mean, I
Alright.
get that, and I can go along with it because of what she does for work. But I'm just saying, I think she would have just wanted to stay out of the spotlight.
Yeah, fair.
I like her agent in part 4.
Allison
Nice.
Brie. Did
Nice.
you? Never mind.
Go ahead. What's that?
Oh, I was just gonna say, did you know that she's married to Dave Franco?
I did.
Oh, you did know
I
that.
did know that. Yeah.
Did you know she had a nose job too? She looks
What?
So
No, I can't.
Look,
ugh.
she looks
Actresses
so-
getting work.
she looked so different in Scream 4. I was like, is that Allison Brie? And I was like, oh shit, it is.
Oh, she has a new job recently. Nose job recently.
like her nose is different in Scream 4 than what it is now.
Oh, I did not know that.
Hmm.
All right.
It's
Tonight's
fine
stat.
by me.
Courtney Cox's lips in part 5 though. Oof.
Okay, leave
got
her
eight.
alone.
You gotta age gracefully, people. Guys and girls alike.
Yeah,
yes.
but when you
Really?
have the pressure of Hollywood coming after you,
There's no way they would not have Gail in this movie, even if she was aging bad. Never mind. Joe's bringing the heat still. He's at 9 points. Sam, second place with 7. Steve, 4. Myself, 3. And the mustaches and bleach tips on the line. So step it up. All right. Scream. 1, 2, 3.
And 4.
Maybe a little bit 5.
and
All right. All these are directed by Wes Craven. This one came out in 1996. It is about Sidney Prescott, who plays a sweet, every American girl, every small town girl, whatever you want to call her. This town, Woodsboro, starts getting stalked by a killer who calls his victims, demanding that he tells them what their favorite scary movie is. Opens up with a freaking great scene where he kills Drew Barrymore, which was very shocking at the time because you didn't have an A-list actress be murdered in the first 10 minutes of the film. Awesome scene. And then we get introduced to the cast. We have Randy, super film nerd, which we all love. We got Sydney, like I already mentioned. We got her friend, played by Rose McGowan. Her brother Dewey is a sheriff, kind of a nerd. You got Billy Loomis. You got Stu. You just got this group of friends that are trying to figure out who the killer is because they keep getting bumped off one by one. I mean, shoot, where do you guys want to start with this one? It's a classic.
It is a classic.
Indeed. I'll start us off, I guess. I saw this movie at home, I remember. Right after, so when did this come out? 96. So when I watched this finally, after it finally made it to home video, I was probably around 12, maybe 11 or 12 years old. And man, I remember this movie scared the hell out of me. Like that opening scene was terrified me. And just that the ghost face mask and stuff. So yeah, I mean, this movie plays like very heavily on nostalgia for me, but like even like watching it now, like it's just like become like just an absolute classic for me. Like every time like I look back on it and whatnot, like it's just like never gets old to me. I just can't find too much wrong with it. Like it's just like it's the perfect blend of horror and then like comedy as well. Where it's not like too over the top with the comedy, but it's like just enough where it feels like very natural, like with how the cast kind of riffs with each other, and it's very meta too, obviously, like with like the talk on horror, like like talking like horror movies that don't like exist in the real world and stuff like that, which is like not a lot of people were doing that yet and stuff like that. So this is definitely, and like I said, Craven, I feel like he tested this with Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and then he went full-fledged when he did Scream. And yeah, I mean, I love this movie. I just love it so much. There's so many iconic scenes in it, not even just that opening scene, but like the party scene and like other kills in it. And yeah, it's just, to me, it's like pretty much the perfect one of like a perfect slasher movie.
Similar time to watching it wise. I burned it on a VHS from Blockbuster. You had the dual decks that you would tape stuff on illegally. Sorry, Blockbuster. But that was a VHS tape I watched a ton of. Loved it, man. Like, loved it then, love it now. It's a great one. If I had to give any kind of critique, it's some of the comedy, I guess. Like Dewey is a little bit too goofy sometimes, but it's kind of like also his charm. When he when he answers the phone, he's like, I think he's hello or something like that. In the bedroom, it's crazy. But Matthew Lillard is fucking an amazing actor, and he just takes every scene to the next level, especially at the end. It's like he's fantastic. And Billy, it's like so obvious he's a killer, but then it's not, because it's clever that they hide it. Billy's great. I mean, Skeet Ulrich is great. Matthew Lillard's great. They're all good. They're all freaking good. Oh, and then when Sydney punches Gail, and he's like, later in the room, he's like, bam, bitch goes down, or bitch went down, or something. It's by Rose McGowan. It's a really funny scene. So great movie.
Yeah, I love this one so much. I've told this story before, so I'll just recap it briefly. But when I first saw this, it was when it came out on pay-per-view, and I was dog and house sitting for someone, and I was like way too young to be by myself. But I remember I rented this movie like 8 times, just watching it over and over. I was so obsessed with this movie. Like, I would have grown up to be a killer. Like, that's how obsessed I was with it. Like, I just loved all the blood. I thought it was so scary. Especially that opening scene. Like, it is so frightening. And still when I watch it, I feel so sad for Casey. Like, she is so close to letting her parents know that she's literally being murdered like 10 feet away, and just like hearing her wheeze, and then she's being dragged away. It is so sad. Sydney's great, although sometimes she gets on my nerves because she puts up with fucking Billy's bullshit. Stu's amazing. I had such a crush on Stu. And Tatum, she's great. She's a sarcastic, fun friend with great fashion, and just overall great movie.
Yeah, I agree. Great movie. I saw it the first time at a party, and I remember how fun it was. Because I was in high school when this movie came out, I could relate to them also high school students. So that was like a cool connection. And I just had a lot of fun watching it then. And I have still to this day a lot of fun watching it. You know, I watch it every few years at least, and it doesn't get old. You know, it's just it's a really well-made film. You know, how it plays off different horror stereotypes and reinvents the genre. You know, he really reinvented the genre in this, because I mean, the 90s, you know, some of the films, especially in the early 90s, they were just not good. You know, it just, horror as a genre, I think there was a lot of fatigue after the 80s, and people were stopped being original and were just kind of putting out the same old formula over and over again. And Wes Craven's like, fuck this, I'm gonna change it, and he made this film, and it's brilliant. And yeah, I absolutely love it. I actually wrote more notes about this movie than any of the other ones, which I was surprised about, because usually when it's something that you watch a lot, you tend to not have many notes because you've seen it so many times. But shit, I got so much to talk about this movie. Just
what you got?
Little things. First, rest in peace to stovetop popcorn. That used to excite me so much when I was a kid. God, when my dad pulled out the fucking little popcorn skillet, I loved just watching it pop, and I just God, that brought back so many memories. I just had to definitely mention it, because did you guys ever do stovetop popcorn, or did you guys miss that? Okay,
I was scared of it.
I still have one. Like some Etsy seller does popcorn horror things.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Also, shout out, and I don't remember the context of this, because I mean, I watched so many of them in the span of 2 days, but I wrote, this movie confirms the Exorcist sex theory. There's a scene in this movie where they're about to watch The Exorcist, and I think it's when Sydney is going to sleep with what's his face there, and they're like, we're going to watch Billy, we're going to watch The Exorcist, and then, you know, have sex. And I'm like, see, there it is. I knew this whole time The Exorcist somehow has some kind of weird,
for serial killers.
Yeah, apparently. The principal, so the Fonz, a little touchy. You know, I don't like principals who get that touchy. He's like touching Sydney's face and stuff, and I always thought that was super creepy. But he's also like such a badass. I love how he deals with the students that he's expelling, and he just doesn't give a fuck. You know, it's so that was really cool to see. Can't help. Go ahead. I
was just gonna say, like, I love his like speeches over the intercom where he's like, just remember your principal loves you, and walking the fours. And there's also a great callback to him in part 4. There's actually a statue of him in the hallway. It's like super quick.
Oh, I didn't see that.
There's like a memorial statue. I'll send you guys a pic of it, but it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I don't know if you guys noticed this. So I did a whole paper about it in film school, so maybe I noticed it more than others. There's a lot of brand placement in this, like Diet Pepsi, Dunkin' Donuts. Like, it's just right in the middle of the frame, just huge shot on all these different brands, and it was like distracting to me. I don't know if that's just sensitivity to it, or I don't know. I thought that was,
once you see one, you're like, oh, there's it. You start looking for it.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting. How did Sydney not kill those fucking 2 girls in the bathroom is beyond me. I would have fucking just put their head through the mirror. That's awful. Those 2 girls were so fucking bad. Yeah. But is Ghostface playing the long game in that stall? Like, how long was he in there? Was he waiting for Sydney all day? I never understood that.
He's taking a shit
in the girls' bathroom.
Yeah, you don't. It's cleaner in there. You got to go in there.
Like in the office.
They got couches and shit.
I always question whether that was actually Ghostface or not, and not just like a kid trying to play a prank in that one scene in particular.
I hate when they attack the main girl in like the middle of the movie, because you know it's not like, okay, if you like, their whole plan, right, is to get this whole big old murder house going, party shit like that. Everyone's in the same house, but like, are you really trying to kill her in the scene? Or I know it's is it for the movie's sake to have action, to think that Sydney's gonna get killed, or is it Stu and Billy are just fucking around? You know, like, what is the purpose of those scenes? I always question that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think they basically tell you that they weren't actually going to kill her there because they wanted to do it on the anniversary of the mother's death, which is like what we find out. So I guess it was just to fuck with her.
Just scaring her, driving her insane, and making her live in fear.
But if one of them gets caught, then everything's ruined for Bill.
Well, yeah. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to talk about one of the best cameos in fucking film history with Wes Craven as Fred, the janitor. That was so fucking cool.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
that was great.
That was awesome. I talked about missing video stores so much. When I see video stores in movies, I always like.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
they should have had Robert Englund though in that cameo for Freddy. That would have been hilarious.
That would have been really cool. Yeah.
But Randy working in the movie store is fucking so cool.
Right.
I mean, Wes.
Before you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, having it be Wes is pretty funny too, though. The janitor. I think Robert would have been good, but like having it actually be the guy who created him is pretty good too.
Do you guys remember if you guessed the killer at all? I mean, it's been so long.
No.
But...
No. I think they did a pretty good job. Like, kind of mimic, like having it be Billy there, where basically he has a cell phone on him, but then like the whole time you're like, oh, well, I guess it's not him. Like, but like you think it was him, and then like they do a good job of like kind of being like, oh, I guess it wasn't him. Like, yeah, and then like. I don't think anyone was thinking two killers, right? Like most of the way through that, like the first time you watch it, you just think it's going to be one. So yeah, I think they do a pretty good job. Like, cause like at one point I remember they like zoom on the sheriff's boots, who has the same exact boots, like as the killer. So I remember like there's a very close up scene of that, or like him putting out a cigarette, and you're like, oh, so they do a pretty good job, like putting all these red herrings in there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think that was the genius of this movie, is the dual killer, right? That was completely new at the time, and something I kind of wish they'd kept in number one and not done for every fucking movie. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. Question for you guys though. So after they kill, it's like 2 or 3 people, they shut down this fucking town like it's the Purge. Like there's a whole scene of people like running away in the middle of the evening, like to their house and closing their stores, like they're about to go through the biggest like curfew shutdown ever. But then there's a giant party that the cop brings like everyone to, and that's not a problem. I never understood that. Like, had you just fucking actually enforced the curfew, this whole thing probably wouldn't have happened. I don't know. I thought that was weird. What you guys think about that?
People break shit for COVID, so they're definitely not going to listen to the curfew for the murder.
Yeah, but the cop doesn't fucking bring you to the goddamn
He's a cool cop. That's what he does, right?
Like,
yeah, it's like his sister, so he's just like, oh, everyone's just fine here at this like little house. They're all friends, right? No one thought they were, so
there's a killer on the loose. You shut down the town. You think the last thing you want is a place full of fucking people.
Yeah.
It's like bringing the fucking sheep to the slaughterhouse. Like,
right.
Yeah, I never understood that. But yeah, it's great movie. It's just little things like that, but nothing too crazy. It's good.
Rate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
4.5 out of 5 for me, or 9, I guess, out of 10.
Yep. Prior to watching this, I had it at 9 out of 10 too. But you know what? I'm going 10 out of 10. Like it's just. Perfect. It's to me, it's like the perfect slasher movie, and the more and more I watch it, I enjoy it just as much, like every single time, if not more. Just iconic. It's just it's the iconic movie of the 90s for sure. I'm pretty sure it was our number 1 movie of the best of the decade for the 90s, and well deserved. Yeah, it's great.
I give it 10 stabs.
Oh,
very nice. I'm at 9 out of 10 as well. I think it's a great movie. It's one of the best slashers ever. Maybe only second to Halloween in my books. But slashers isn't one of my favorite subgenres of horror. So it's hard to get above that. But still very effective, very great, movie, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that the Ghostface robe was originally supposed to be white?
Ooh, I don't like that at all.
Really?
To keep him, because he was Ghostface, so they wanted to make the robe white too, to keep
How
with
you
the
gonna hide
whole
outside
ghost,
with fucking white sheet?
right? To keep with the whole ghost theme, but
I
they
see
said
you.
they said it they were scared it was gonna look too close to a Ku Klux Klan outfit, so that's why they didn't do it.
I guess, but I think it's just stupid overall.
Yeah, especially from the back.
Yeah, right.
Like that fucking kid that had the Oogie Boogie costume at Disney that I showed you guys that one time.
Imagine that. Like, I'm in the house. Like, yeah, I see you, motherfucker. You're staying in a white sheet in my hallway.
I do think though it might have looked cool during the kill scenes, like with the robe covered in blood. Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you hide it after? It's just like No. It's
Yeah.
There's too many issues with the white.
I think they did great, even over that alternate mask that someone sent in the chat the other day.
The party scene too, 42 minutes long. It's like half of the running time. Like, and it never like.
You.
It's so entertaining too. And we didn't even mention Kenny the cameraman. I love his character in this movie.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Dude, that scene with Randy though is like perfect. The fucking
behind
the
you
suspense of that scene. And then the delay, and then he's like, she realized the delay, and then he's fucking right there. It's like, whoa.
Yep. And them using Halloween in the background too is like so effective there. And like then like when Dewey's like I'm sorry, we're doing this after you're rating it, but then like Dewey is like walking around with like the gun, and there's so much tension there, and you hear like Jamie Lee Curtis's screams and the Halloween score in the background. It's like using a classic horror movie like to add the tension was so good there. It was awesome. Yeah.
I gotta really do a shout out to the contractor that built that garage door opener. Fucking top notch, man. I need to get one installed.
No kidding.
I fucking bumped mine with a leaf and it fucking locks.
Right.
Would you say that's the best death in the movie? Tatum's death?
Opening scene, I think.
Opening death?
It's a good one, though.
It is a fucking great one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's some good gore in this movie, actually, too.
Ones,
like, that's fucking Casey's. Like, just imagine, like, as a parent, like, going outside and seeing your daughter, like, her entrails, like, just sticking out of her, hanging.
That's a perfect, like, moment, too. And then it starts with, like, it's a great movie, man. It's a great movie. It is.
And all the gore with Steve, too, when he gets stabbed.
Yeah.
And
he's big, he plays football, and he'll kick your ass. Steve's dead.
Yeah. And like the twist of like Billy and Stu being the ones that killed Sydney's mom too was like a really good twist, and doing it like 1 year later after her murder. It's really, really good. I'm kind of surprised, honestly, like now we're gonna start heading into the sequels, that we do never see like that, like that moment when they did murder her. Yeah. I'm surprised that never came about.
You kind of get it. Kind of in the set.
Yeah, in the set,
goofy,
but yeah.
All right, Scream 2. Sydney goes to college. That's my breakdown for it. She goes to college. She's trying to move on. She's got some friends, and of course, Ghostface is rears his ugly white head, and he's at college now. We got Randy. He's still in the crew. You got Dewey. He's got a little fucking hobble. That's fucking. I'm sorry, but the way he plays it is just over the top. I hate that he has a theme song. Bing, bing, shut up. You got Gail Weathers, who's looking pretty, looking cute still. I like it. Sarah Michelle Gellar's great. Her boyfriend's a really great guy. The deputies are fucking worthless though. I'm like, fucking protect her. Stand next to her, you fucking morons. However, the scene in the crash cop car is amazing. When like Ghostface is knocked out and she's like trying to sneak around, the cop has a pole through his head and she's fucking like going over. That's amazing scene. The best scene in the movie in my opinion. However, I do think it's a little stale. Doesn't really add that much to it's hard to follow up part one. I mean, it's impossible, and it was rushed into production. I think coming out like a year later.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I still enjoy it. Definitely a far cry from part one, but like I said, it's hard to follow up. And that cop car scene is truly amazing. So those are my opening thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, Wes Craven came back for this one, which is like a surprise because usually, there's a lot of directors don't want to come back for the sequel, but you have the whole original director, writer, everybody comes back for this one. And yeah, I agree, Ty. I think they did rush. Obviously, this was rushed, right? Because like I'm sure they weren't expecting the first one to be as successful as it was, and you got to capitalize on it. So they definitely rushed here. It's definitely better than Ghoulies Go to College if we're going to goes to college movies. Yeah, I mean, overall, I do like this one. It's definitely a step down for sure. However, the opening scene is amazing. Like, I fucking love this opening scene with Jada Pinkett and Omar Epps in the movie theater for the opening of Stab, which is just like it's so fun. Like, right? Like the theater just going crazy. You got a million people in Ghostface costumes running around, and it's just it's such like, to me, it's the second best opening scene out of all of the Scream movies. Yeah, just I love this opening scene.
I don't like it.
You don't like it? Okay.
Yeah. He stabs a knife through a wall.
Through the door. Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Not gonna I mean, whatever. There's a lot of goofy shit in horror movies, but I do not. There's nothing against her herself, but Jada Pinkett. Well, I guess it is because I don't think she's a great actress, and I think I cannot stand her in anything she does, so that automatically took it out for me. I do like the theater going fucking ape shit though. That was a really cool setup, and then she's in the front and no one believes her. That's cool, but I just don't like her herself. That's my problem with it.
All right. But yeah, I mean the rest of the movie, it's okay. Like it has its moments. I do like of the cast. Like I like her friend. I like Jerry O'Connell as the love interest. Like I think he's really like sweet, and he's trying to get Sydney to like open up and stuff. So I like that whole thing there. Cotton's character, you know, he is okay, I guess. I do like that he has like an arc though. I do appreciate like his arc in here because like obviously like yeah, like you're wrongfully convicted, like, and everyone still thinks you're a fucking psychopath, even though you're not. Like, and so it's him trying to like, you know, right his life, which rightfully so, you do deserve that. But it's so true. Like once you're, you know, it's convicted by the
public opinion.
By the public opinion. Sorry, thank you. Once you're convicted by the public opinion, you're pretty much fucked. And
cancel culture back in 1997.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I did like that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of pales in comparison to the original. There are some really good scenes in here though. Love Cece's death, Sarah Michelle Gellar. I think that's one of the best scenes in the entire movie, for sure, outside of the opening scene. So yeah, overall though, it's still a good time.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really have much to add with this one. I do disagree with Todd about, well, like he said, he liked the opening scene, but just not Jada. Like, it makes me feel so sad. Like, that's one of my worst fears, is that I'm getting murdered and it's going to be on Halloween or some crazy horror event and no one's going to realize that it's real. It's the thing with like going back to Casey and her parents. It's like, they're so close to being saved, but yet so far away. It's so sad. I like Sarah Michelle Gellar. I like Sydney trying to move on with her life, being at college, and you kind of see the sorority girls are like wanting her, but they're all bitches anyways. But I feel like it lags a little for me, especially like I always hate when it comes up in the movie where they're in the theater and like she's getting attacked. It might be the end, or like where Jerry's being hung up. Like I just always check out because I don't think it's a good scene, or maybe it just isn't scary. I don't know what it is, something about it.
Maybe it's the killers. Do you not like the killers? Because I'm not too hot on who they were.
Yeah, maybe it's that. Yeah.
Like the mom angles, like we met on the chat room. I know it's the 90s and that's a big thing, but it's still like, okay, you may, I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still good.
Yeah. So I like the movie as well. However, I will say that this particular rewatch surprised me, and is part of this and another film, a switch up in my ranking of the series after rewatching this one again. There's a lot of stuff I like about it. I like the plays on the sequel, you know, kind of tropes that Randy so eloquently explains. I love some of the, you know, inside jokes that they do, kind of like the first one, and I thought that was really clever. There's just things about this one that I didn't love, particularly the end. The entire last scene in the theater like place and all that stuff, I just didn't really like that one. I felt it was so like overproduced and like, but also like under, I don't know, like the killers, it didn't make really sense to me. I didn't really care about them. It's not like the first one where you really got to know these characters. It was kind of like just putting someone for putting someone's sake. And this is something they're going to start doing in the rest of the series, where suddenly all these family members start popping up that we didn't know about before, just to conveniently put them as the killers of the movie because they don't know who else to put. And that was kind of a bummer in this one. And I kind of agree with Todd in the first scene. There are a few issues in that first scene to me. First one being that who the fuck gets popcorn or goes to pee 5 minutes into the movie? Like, that would never happen. I don't know who the hell does that, but if you are,
girls do it.
I was gonna say
Fucking
the
girls
girl.
do it.
Yeah, but
he
he does it too.
Kids do it.
She doesn't like horror movies though, so it
Why are you
made
fucking
sense.
going to
She was
stab?
so scared.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because her boyfriend was making her. There was that whole
Let him have a guy night.
She wanted to go see the Sandra Bullock movie, but
Right.
he made her go see the.
I totally
stab.
believe it. Yeah.
And I love how the Ghostface in this one is also playing the long game in the bathroom stall. Is this like a thing for Ghostface?
They gotta shit. I'm telling you, Steve, they're shitting.
Yeah, but shitting specifically waiting for him to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
It was a targeted attack. Made no fucking sense whatsoever. Like, it's just so weird. And one thing I just gotta point out, and maybe this is an American thing. She orders a small Diet Pepsi, and it's the size of her fucking head. It's like she almost eats two heads. It's like huge, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Don't get the large. It's a fucking gallon jug.
Yeah, barely.
Don't do it. Get the kid size.
No, fuck that. I get the large.
I thought that was super funny. And this is the movie where I really started noticing how clumsy Ghostface is as a killer. Like, he's just flip-flopping all over the place. Like, it's like funny, but also I don't know if it's meant to be funny. I don't know if it's on purpose, or it's crazy like how much Ghostface flip-flops around in this movie. So I mean, I liked it. I did like it. It's just it had some issues. And I think it was Todd that said it. I did not like Dewey's like nerve damage angle at all. Yeah. It just didn't. It was unnecessary to me, you know, especially the way he overplayed it. In my opinion, it just didn't work.
Real quick, part one, we forgot to mention the on-screen mishap where Ghostface is chasing her. He goes, easy, easy, and it ended up on tape.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna find it later.
Catch that.
He's chasing Cindy up the stairs, and he goes, easy, easy. The actor playing him.
Oh.
But part two, what is Tilly Elephant? What's his relation to the fucking situation again?
He's just a friend, like a college student.
He's just a fucking bud, and he meets up with Billy's mom, and that's it.
Yeah, basically.
Weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do they have a sexual relationship? Do you think?
This is the problem with like the dual killers. Like, he wasn't needed. Just have it be Billy's mom. Like, that would have been fine. That would have been better, honestly. Probably there wasn't a need for two killers.
I don't know. Is this sexist so to say that I think there needs to be a male killer because you're taking on male people? Is that justified?
Yeah, it is sexist, but
is it sexist?
It is, but
it
like,
is,
I
but
understand.
I get what you're saying.
Like, yeah,
because that's my issue sometimes with like Billy's mom taking out
Randy.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, she did it behind his back though, so it's easy to like. I don't know. She's also an older woman. So. Yeah, I mean, Randy's death still goes down as probably the saddest death in horror movie history, in my opinion. He's just such a beloved character.
Yeah, that's a mistake. You can't kill off
it's a mistake that they tried to fix in 3 very unsuccessfully, in my opinion.
They keep trying to fix that fucking mistake. It's like, leave him alone.
Yeah, that was like the Insidious mistake where they killed Elise after part 1 and they brought her back for every movie.
But she appears in every movie. Same thing with Jigsaw. Jigsaw appears in like every fucking Saw, but he's been dead since 4.
So I like the idea of Billy's mom. She has motive.
Yeah.
But where's Billy? Let's bring Billy's dad into it. Let's make it a family affair. We don't need to get Pretty Boy involved. That's probably having sex chat rooms together.
Well, Billy's dad, he abandoned the family.
Well,
so
he's back because they fucking murdered his son, Joe.
All right.
I think that's a better twist because mom, I get it, but I do not believe her as a killer, and maybe that's why she's so slapstick, Steve. Maybe there's your answer. Just like in later installments, like the killer has to be believable. When you see a stunt actor playing the killer, and they're like got bulk and stuff, and then you say this is like skinny girl or guy, whatever you want to do, it doesn't make sense. It has to make sense in the moment. Don't have fucking a Jason Voorhees looking dude that, oh wait, no, it's his mom the whole time. Come on, like
right.
I hate that. And whatever.
Right. Which I mean it's a good example in part 4 as well. Like you got, I mean, which we'll get to in a minute, but like you have like this small little girl and that doesn't look like that.
You're being sexist, Joe.
Ghostface killers. Yeah. Well, it just doesn't match up. You know what I mean? It really doesn't match up. But yeah, like, you know, I do like the Billy's mother angle, but like, let's be honest here. Like, okay, she had plastic surgery, but you're telling me Sydney, who dated this fucking Billy for all this time, and Gail, who wrote like the book and shit, you're telling me no one recognized? Exactly. I don't care how much plastic surgery you've had, someone is going to fucking recognize you.
Yeah.
It just seemed very far-fetched. Like, so I will say that. But I mean, I was able to go with it. And then another thing, I saw Steve mention this in his letterbox as well, and Sam had just mentioned it too, that she didn't like the whole stage stuff. Like the whole like Greek like tragedy play thing. Like, I did like the one scene where Ghostface is in that robe. Like, he looked kind of cool, honestly, in that one scene where she's even though he's not really there, I don't believe, right? It's just kind of a vision Sydney has because she's like panicking. But yeah, the whole like Greek tragedy set, like where I love when she's like trying to take down like the mom, and she starts like she's at one point she grabs like the thunder sounding thing and just starts shaking it, like that's supposed to like freak her out or something like that. It's like, what? What's going on here? So yeah, I mean, that whole thing is, it's just like a bad setting for the finale, in my opinion. So yeah, that was my biggest complaint.
Justice for Jared.
Yeah, he is a very sad. Yeah, it is a sad death because he did seem like a really genuinely good dude, and for him to go down. Interestingly enough, though, do you know this entire script leaked online, which caused them to completely rewrite the movie. They had a completely different movie. So here is, I will tell you quickly what the original. So this is directly from IMDb. After the first draft of the script was leaked on the internet, several changes had to be made and characters were fully rewritten. So Dewey had originally transferred himself from Woodsboro Police to the security staff on campus so he could be close to Sydney and keep her safe. Randy was originally Gail's new cameraman, and Joel, who was the new cameraman, was a med student and friends with Sydney. Derek was the film student shooting a documentary who walked around with a camera, not Mickey. Debbie Salt was more aggressive and bitchy, as in one scene she asked Sydney if she finally snapped and if she's the one doing the killings, being punched in the face by Gail as a result. The scene in which Sydney slaps Gail never happens. Mickey was the one who sings in the cafeteria to Haley, and a different song, I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. The killers were Derek, Jerry O'Connell's character, Haley, the friend, and Debbie Salt. Loomis ends up shooting Derek and Haley, but then gets stabbed by Cotton before she can shoot Sydney and Gail. Cotton suddenly has a change of heart and decides to get even on both Sydney and Gail, as he considers them responsible for ruining his life. He stabs and kills Gail and then runs after Sydney. Kevin Williamson stopped the writing there, but left notes in the script that's all I've written so far, and then describes in a few words how the story was supposed to end, with Cotton and Sydney eventually stabbing each other and die laying side by side.
I don't like that last bit, but I like the rest of it.
Yeah, I like the beginning part of it.
I like three killers too.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That would have been different.
It would have been different. Yeah.
One question for Sam, actually. Do you think what he did by singing in the cafeteria is romantic or obnoxious?
I think it's romantic.
Making a big scene in front of a bunch of people is romantic too?
I mean,
it's like proposing at a sporting event.
That's a little too much, but singing's fine because you don't have to say yes or no. Like, it's just like, fine, make yourself look like the dumbass, and I'll just sit here and smile.
There's no way high school students would react that way, like join in and clap. There's no fucking way.
College.
College. Sorry, yeah,
definitely.
college.
They definitely react to that.
No.
They're all karaoke every day.
Yeah, but he was like popular, so everyone was probably like wanting to
He's a
suck that
good-looking
dick.
kid. They liked it.
There's also a special cameo in this movie. If you look close enough, you will see Matthew Lillard in the background, because he was dating Neve Campbell at the time. Yes, but also we'll get into it for Scream 3. But there was an original, a different plot for Scream 3 that was supposed to involve Stu.
Okay, rated, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, overall, I like this one. I think it definitely has its moments. Like we said, pales in comparison to 2, but I still find it to 1. I mean, but still, I find it pretty damn enjoyable. So I'm giving it a 7.5.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 7.
I don't like the killers. I don't like the killer angle. Randy still hurts my feelings because he's such a great little dude, and Dewey's so over the top. They messed that character up in this one, in my opinion. Giving it a 6.5.
That's where I am, 6.5 as well.
Or I guess a 3 on Letterboxd.
Yeah, which is actually a lower score than I had it previously. Before I would have said 7.5, and now I'm at 6.5. So
yeah, I had it at 3.5 on Letterboxd, and I adjusted it. Okay. Part 3. Cindy is in hiding. She's off the grid, but she does have connection with Dewey. They're making Stab Part 3 currently in Hollywood, so that's like the big ticket item. They're remaking all of Woodsboro in a sound studio, which is a freaking cool ass set. So now we are following along. Cotton Weary is the opening kill. He's a celebrity now, kind of a talk show host. He's got his 100% Cotton show, and he is the opening kill, which is okay. We're introduced into a new kind of twist where now the Ghostface can mimic anyone's voice perfectly, no matter what situation, no matter what pitch, tone, whatever your answer response is, he's got a follow-up, which doesn't make any fucking sense at all. And then, yeah, so basically killings start happening again. They, they're kind of after Sid, but they can't find her. So very stupidly, she comes back to Woodsboro to put herself, or actually Hollywood, to put herself in harm's way. So they're shooting the film, and you have like the Dewey character, he has his actor counterpart. You have Gail character, her actor counterpart, and so on and so on. So we have all, not only the original cast now, but we have their counterparts in the movie, and now the characters are getting bumped off as well as their true life counterparts in this film. We're also introduced into a subplot that is shoehorned in at the end there, and revolving once again Maureen Prescott, and we'll just leave it there.
Yeah. So this one is an interesting one. They tried a different approach with this one, with the voice changer, and you're either gonna go with it or not, I guess. And even though it's like far-fetched, like I kind of liked it. Like I like that they tried to do something different. So I appreciated it, although it's probably not like realistic, like whatsoever, being able to mimic people's voices and whatnot. I was fine with it because I was like, okay, like this is kind of cool. Like it's interesting, it's different. It kind of puts like a red herring in things, like on who it really throws you off on, like who the killer is going to be. Like I never had any inkling who the killer was going to be the entire time because of this voice changer thing. So you know what? I'm in defense of the voice changer. I'm sure most people disagree with me, but I liked it. I like that they try to change it up and try to do something different here. The Hollywood setting, I liked the backlot stuff, like how we got to see like Woodsboro again. I thought that was all very cool. I thought it was like funny seeing like the actors playing, like the actors talking with like themselves played by the other actors. So that all was kind of fun. I did like the Maureen Prescott angle too here, like, how she kind of had this like secret life that no one knew about. Cause that I'm sure that happens a lot. A lot of people have like secret lives that they don't tell people about when they were younger and stuff like that. So I like that angle, and that they were bringing her back in, and it was a decent motive for the killer, which we end up finding out who the killer is, which we can get into. But I liked his motive. I like the killer's motive too. So overall, this one surprised me a little bit on the rewatch because I remember not liking it that much, but overall I actually had a pretty fun time with this one. It definitely obviously pales in comparison to 1, and it's definitely not as good as part 2 either, but still I thought it was pretty enjoyable.
Hammer?
I'm trying to remember this one, even though I just watched it today. So Scream 3. I'm with Joe. I liked they were filming the movie. I thought that was really cool, and just like how the whole set was a set. Sometimes it was really confusing though. Like they would talk about stuff and I was like, I had to pay attention. I was like, wait, what's going on now? I liked this one, but I just didn't really care for Scott Foley's character. I don't know. It's just something about him. I just don't like him. I didn't really buy him as being a director because he's a
Who's that? Oh, that's Roman.
Yes, he was a little whiny little fucking bitch.
It's my movie. I want my movie.
But I came in when Joe was talking about the voice changer, and I don't know what you were how you synopsisized it,
I
Todd,
said
or
it was a
whatever,
little far-fetched to have everyone's pitch and tone.
It is, but I loved it. Like, I was getting a boner when it would when their voice would start off as like the normal person's voice, and then it would turn into Ghostface. Like, I just loved how they transitioned it. It just gave me goosebumps every time. So I did like that. Although I even asked Joe, I was like, "We're supposed to believe that he can do that? Like, how?" What else can I say? I don't know. I don't really care about. I feel like, didn't they kind of get into Gail and Dewey's relationship, or they're still together at this point?
Every fucking movie.
I don't care. Like, I literally don't care.
Let them bang and get married or not.
I'd rather know about their lives separately. Like, I want to know what Dewey's doing alone, and I want to know what Gail's doing in her career. Like, I don't care about them together. But yeah, what can you do about that? Who else can I talk about in this movie? Is Sydney dating anyone? No, she's working as the hotline counselor, right?
Yes, Laura.
I mean, I think she has a great life. She literally can work from home with her dog. She lives out somewhere on a ranch with her dad. And he's like, this isn't the kind of life you should have. And she's like, that's the point, is not to have a life. But I think that sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
Does she live with her dad? Does he live there?
I mean, he was at the
No,
house.
he's just visiting.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah, because he says
you follow the dad killers and you'll find her. You dumb fucks. Yeah, I said I didn't like the voice changer. If you accept it, it's cool. But it's just like, yeah, okay, we're gonna believe that. Just because like every situation he has a counter towards it. Like, I'm like, okay. I guess he's a Hollywood director, so he can afford to make some cool shit. Let's see. I thought, I hate when they get so meta that they start putting cameos in movies. You got Jay and Silent Bob, which, hey, that's the Gale Weathers, and shut up.
Not even fucking Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes. Like Jay and Silent Bob makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
And then freaking Princess Leia, and they have the whole. I know I look like Princess Leia. Like I charming, sure. In a Scream movie, no, I didn't like it at all. I thought Maureen Prescott having another fucking backstory. Oh, I was in Hollywood actress. Like, really? Every problem in this fucking universe is because of Maureen Prescott's dumbassness. I know she's taken advantage of in Hollywood. That's terrible. That's not my point in this. It's just like every single thing was a result of her decision making. And you know what? Fuck Lance Anderson too, you bitch. You have your fucking rape dungeon. What's wrong with you, you fucking psycho? Roman, like Sam said, he's a whiny little prick. But here's my problem. She checked his pulse when he was fake dead to throw us off. But he's not dead. You would feel his pulse, especially this motherfucker just ran around for like 30 minutes. He's gonna be sweating, he's gonna be shaking, he's gonna pulse pounding. Get out of here. The hot detective that she ends up, well, never mind, spoil. Hot detective, he has no sense of personal space, no personal boundaries. She goes right up to Sid's ear and he goes, my life. I don't like, he's trying to seduce her or something, but he gets right up in her grill. I don't know if you guys saw that. And then they don't understand how bulletproof vests work in this universe. You're getting shot by a 38. You're not getting up. You're not walking around. Your ribs are broken. You're out of breath. And then like he gets shot and then he pops up, boop, like in normal character, like, what? But yeah, those are my big gripes with it. This is the only movie I've seen in the theater. Scream 5 too now, but this is the only one of the originals I saw in the theater. Houses don't explode after having the gas on for 2 minutes. That's not how it works, especially to that standard. And overall, though, I fucking liked it a lot more than I remembered. It's solid. It improved in my scores. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was witty. Meta, yes, but I still really enjoyed it, except for like Maureen Prescott. They need to let her go, and they don't ever in this series. So here's my stuff.
Yeah, that was probably my least favorite. Was the Maureen Prescott
stuff. So I guess on the opposite side, this is like my least favorite Scream by a good margin. And each time I watch it, I think I like it a little bit less than the time before. So my score is like continuously going down on this one. Like you said, I hate the cameos, especially Jay and Silent Bob, because it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. It's one thing if you have Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes going to a Jay and Silent Bob like set because they're there. That would kind of make sense because they're on a movie set. But having the characters, that made no fucking sense whatsoever. Super ridiculous. I hate the voice changer. I'm gonna straight up say it. today in 2022, we barely have that technology where you could just fucking pluck people's voices and do it. Like, you could do it, but it's not like that good, you know? And not only do they have like live characters, but also dead characters that they're using the voices. It makes no sense whatsoever to me. So I was really not on board with that. I thought it was a cheap trick that they used in the movie. So that was a big one. These fucking family members that keep popping out of nowhere. You know, Randy's sister coming out with a tape where he recorded his dialogue for part 3. Stupid as fuck. Like, yes, I'm happy to see Randy. Yes, I enjoy his little like spiel about it. Makes no fucking sense. What, Randy thought he was gonna die, so he started recording fucking like future sequel ideas in case the killer keeps coming back. It just does not make sense. And his sister that comes out of nowhere. It's just these little details. They seem like such. It was so lazy as far as writing goes. They're just inserting stuff to kind of keep the same tropes going. And by this point, you know, I watched all 4 films in 2 days. It's like the same movie over and over, like just being recycled over and over with the same fucking things. Like you said, like Dewey and Gale falling for each other again. For the 3rd time, they start the movie not together, and we have to see their love story like connect. We've seen this twice before. We don't need to see it again. Either you're together or you're not. And that was like, okay, that's enough of that. The whole thing about not killing them the first time and the killer waking up and you have to shoot him in the head, they pull that in all 3 fucking movies at this point. Like, it's overplayed. And that's kind of my problem with part 3, is that
I can't wait for you to see part 5, Steve.
Oh my god, it's just like they're just recycling the same goddamn movie over and over again. And they didn't bring anything new to it. And even in this one, I didn't feel that they were playing on the trilogy trope, which I thought was where they'd go with it, because, you know, the first one kind of like the new horror for 1996. Second one's about sequels. I thought they'd do like a trilogy thing where it's supposed to like cap out the story. I thought that would have been interesting. They don't do that really at all, except for Randy's little speech. Just a lot of issues with this one, to be honest. And the only thing that I really liked about this one was the sequence of Sydney getting chased in her house, but it's a set of her house. I thought that was really fun and cool, and I really like that. Outside of that, didn't like this one all that much.
You know how many security people are on sets in Hollywood?
Oh,
There's
yeah,
no
of course.
fucking way. Well, I guess, you know what? Actually, there is a way if it's the director of the film sneaking around. So that makes sense. Never mind. But why does Dewey... in the scene with the false glass, or whatever you want to call it, the false mirror, whatever it's called, to break them, he starts shooting them at person level, one at a time, not knowing who's behind that. Like, Dewey, please, what are we doing?
He could have just shot one and just go check.
Yeah.
You know, if there's
or
anyone
bang
back
it
there.
or shoot it like where I'm not gonna hit anybody unless they're giant.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you shoot them like people level. I'm like, gosh damn. I guess Roman's things make sense why he's mad, of course, but Maureen's a piece of shit. If
she's a piece of shit, she's like abandoned him.
Yeah, he shows up at their house and is
yeah.
like, that was my old self.
Yeah, that's fucked
like,
up.
whoa.
I'm like, wow. I was like, she is really just the worst person in this entire universe. Like, she fucking was fucking around on her husband, and then she's, you know, I can understand why she got rid of Roman, obviously, because like it was from, you know, a terrible experience. But then like he resurfaces like 20, 30 years later, and you're not like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, and or you just like, get out of my fucking house. Like, I don't know, like, this just seems awful to me.
This doesn't make sense though for her character in part 1. If she was abused, I don't know, it may answer it, maybe I'm wrong, but does it make sense like for her to go from abuse to banging everyone around town? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
All right, case closed. Never mind.
In some situations, I would say yeah.
Yeah. Well, sucks for her husband then.
Yeah. I mean, she had a tough life, but man, you would think because you had such a tough life, you would be a better person because of it. But I mean, I don't, she just seems like such,
She's no
and then,
Sharon Stone.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Honestly,
And
the
I
movies,
agree.
though, the title sounded pretty cool that she was in.
Yeah, I know, right? But I do agree, like, we are rehashing the same shit like over and over again, which is why I did like I'll go back to the voice changer, which is why I like the voice changer in this one, because it was something different. But yeah, like the Dewey Gale thing, like, just, man, like, what a terrible relationship they have. Like, it's like the most toxic relationship you'll ever see. But they just need to cut ties, I think, at this point.
Keep coming back like magnets, man.
Yep. Apparently.
She sees him, and he says her, and they're like, "Yep." I bet they have fucking. Okay, I bet they have really good sex after these movies end. Like in the universe, like they had a bunch of fucking crazy shit. They almost died. He's fucking, oh, I got my bum leg. You got to get on top, and then fucking just go crazy, dude. That's probably why they're into it. But that's just my headcanon there.
Yeah. And one last thing I want to mention: did I miss something during this movie that made McDreamy like totally part of the group by the end, where he's having popcorn and watching movies with them, like at their house?
Guess what we watch? What are they watching? Why you gotta leave me hanging?
Like when was that a thing? Like where he's just like part of the group now?
Wasn't he sort of like the love interest for Sydney? Sort of, kind of.
I
didn't know.
I don't even remember him after she goes into his office. Like she goes down to the station. I don't even remember.
That's when he gets all in her space.
Well, yeah, but that was the last I saw of him.
He comes in the house and gets shot.
Yeah, he shows up at the birthday party and gets attacked.
Yeah, remember we think he's a killer because like you came over here without your partner, and he's like, just calm down. Calm down. Cool. Fucking dreamy with fucking goopy eyes. But he's still around in last spoiler, I guess, right?
Okay, I missed it.
Oh, you missed it from part 5?
Wait, what?
They're married in part 5.
They are?
Yeah. You didn't know
that?
It's Dewey says, how's Mark? And she says, I think I'll keep him. So that's his character in part 3.
Yeah, that's no spoiler, really.
It's like a literally
throwaway line.
Second
line.
Well, I was wondering stuff about her life, and I even said like I want to know about her husband.
She married Mark and had twins, dude. Or I don't know, twins, but a couple girls.
Hey, stop! You're running it for Steve.
That's all right. He saw that in the trailer.
That's sweet.
All right, rate it.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, this is. Yeah, I mean, to me, the franchise just progressively is getting weaker as they go. This one had some moments though. I enjoyed it. I didn't really mention it, but I did like the opening scene of Cotton's Kill. But I also think it's probably the weakest of the entire franchise as well. But yeah, I mean, this one's decent. I'm giving it a 7.
He drops a fucking bookshelf on him, and then the killer gets up super easy. Cotton, come on. You giving it a 7? I'm at a 3.
Yeah, I give it a 7.
I'm still at a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd and a 6.5. Maybe 6. No, I'll do a 6.
This is tough. I guess I'll give it a 6.8.
Okay.
I give it a 5.5, and really, this is a 4. But I enjoy spending time with these characters, so it gets points just because I like spending time in the Scream world. So 5.5. But really, if I was looking at this objectively without like the nostalgia of the other characters, I think it would be like a 4. I really, really did not like this one.
Yeah. Well, do you guys want to hear the original idea for Scream 3? So Matthew Lillard, who, of course, there was the whole reason for him being in part 2 and a very small cameo role was for part 3. So Lillard, he had been contracted to reprise his role as the primary antagonist for part 3. He had apparently survived his death in the original Scream, orchestrating new Ghostface attacks from prison on these high school students and ultimately targeting Sydney. But following the Columbine High School massacre, shortly before production began, the script was scrapped and rewritten without his character and the plot to avoid development of a film which associated violence and murder with a high school setting. So he was supposed to be getting kids, like he started a cult essentially from prison and had these like kids apparently out and about killing for him.
I like it, but it's definitely good that they didn't go during that time frame with that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense why they didn't go that way. It would have been interesting though, for sure. I mean, more interesting than what we got, honestly.
100% Cotton. Okay, Scream 4, Wes Craven again, 2011. So Sydney, man, she's over it. She's like, you know what? I'm not fucking hiding anymore, dude. I'm writing this book. I know I gave shit to Gail Weathers, like Sam mentioned earlier, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing a self-help book, self-empowerment, women empowerment, what do you want to call it? Out of the darkness. She's going on a book tour. She goes back to Woodsboro. And she has a niece there, another family member that we didn't know about, shows up. And the killer's back, man. He's starting to kill people. Dewey comes back, Gale comes back, we got the whole crew coming back, and that's where we're at. We're back at Woodsboro, and people are trying to kill Sydney while killing this new cast of characters that are in high school again. You got the geeks, you got the 2 cinema lovers that are in a cinema club together, you got the hot chicks. That's essentially the movie. It's once again part 1. I originally did not like it at all. Like it was like a 2 or something on my letterbox or whatever before I changed it. Just because I think Wes Craven at this time was a little bit out of touch with like teens. But now watching it again, I'm like, all right, he kind of hit it, even though the teenagers still act a little bit, at least the females in my opinion, act a little bit too old for their characters. Kirby, let's call it what it is. She's not a true horror fan, right? She got like 10 DVDs. I don't want to talk about it. I like Culkin. He's good. I like the dude with the freaking live webcammy thingy. That's especially in the YouTube days, you definitely could buy that. You get same Dewey and Gale bullshit that you guys talked about in the last ones. And wait, he's sheriff now. How did that happen? Did anyone picture
Dewey? And they're married in this one too.
That's true. Right.
At least they start together this time.
They right.
Fall in love again for the 4th time.
They still bicker. They still bicker at each other though.
Yeah.
And he's getting lemon bars made by the hot deputy, which I like. I know why you don't like her, but I like her. At this point, I'm kind of over Sydney. Like I think we should have closed her character out in part 3. It's just like more of the same. And I don't know. That's my 2 cents. That's my opening.
Yeah. So I had only seen this movie once before rewatching it. And I remembered really disliking it on a first watch. On this rewatch, I definitely like it a little bit more. It's still my least favorite of these 4 that we're doing tonight. But it's not as bad as I remembered, and I still think it's a pretty decent watch. I really like the return to Woodsboro here. It just feels fresh, like kind of like a refresh. So I do like that. I like being back, like in the familiar setting of Woodsboro. I liked that. I don't know though, the returning characters feel so weird here to me. I don't know. They just seem like out of place. It's just weird. Like it seems like they don't like need to be there. So yeah. And then
they're too scared to start their own thing. They had to shoehorn in the originals.
It does kind of, they do kind of feel shoehorned in here. And then like some of the dialogue here is like really weird. Like I really like when that new reporter like confronts Gale, I was like, people are you really like throwing backhands like at like a person like right to their face? Like I don't know, I guess people do that, but it just seemed, I don't know, some of the dialogue just did not seem believable to me. The new cast of characters, I didn't like most of them, but I did like Kirby. Like she's basically the new Randy here. Obviously pales in comparison, but overall I like her. My biggest problem though is with the ending of this movie. Like the last 20 minutes in the hospital to me, like is just, it becomes like slapstick almost, to where it took me out of it. And just like the comedy didn't hit for me, like in this one as much as compared to the other ones, but it's still like a pretty fun one. Like the opening intro is great. Like I love how we keep getting the full outs with all of the stab movies, and then you finally get into the real killings. Like I think that's great. I thought that was really creative. And so yeah, I mean, to me the intro is the best part of this movie. The rest of the movie okay, and then to me the ending is just bad.
So I had seen this movie I think maybe once or twice, and it was always the least favorite out of all of them. But I will say rewatching it this time, I do appreciate it a little bit more. I never really gave second thought to Kirby, but I love her. She's a great character. Like Joe mentioned with how the opening is with all of the fake outs, I loved that because I was like, just seeing all of the actresses I knew from other shows, I'm like, oh, I forgot that they were in this movie. And then it's like, just joking, that's stab, just joking, stab one, just joking, that's stab, it was fun. But I wasn't crazy about Emma Roberts. I don't know. I just didn't like her in this movie. And as Todd would say, like, we're getting introduced to another family member of Sydney's. Like, when are we going to have Scream 6 called Family Reunion? Like, literally Scream 6, family reunion. I can see it now. Yeah, I don't really have much to
Where
add.
the whole movie is at like a family reunion.
Exactly.
And it's grandma killing people? She's 90?
Yep.
I like it.
Is it the
Yeah, it's a
5-year-old
whodunit.
nephew?
No, it's a 5-year-old and the 90-year-old.
Yeah. Maureen's really alive.
She has a twin sister.
Ooh, I like it.
I'm surprised they didn't try that.
Maureen had another child.
Yeah. So I like this one more every time I watch it. It's kind of the opposite from 3, where I'm liking it less and less. I'm liking this one more and more on every rewatch, probably my 4th or 5th time watching it. And yeah, I just had more fun with this one. I think going back to Westboro was the right move because I missed that in part 3. And I just like being in that town. Like it's got that familiarity that I really like. So that was cool. And this one felt more like a Scream movie than part 3. So that was another thing that I was happy that they kind of went back to. I got to mention, Dewey is a terrible shot for a cop. Like there's a point where he has Ghostface right in his sights and he not only misses, but misses like significantly, which was super weird for someone who's apparently like, you know, the sheriff in his town or whatever he is. I like the nods to the first one, like Charlie being tied up. You know, kind of brought us back to Steve being tied up in the first one. I thought that was really cool. I love when she shoots her boyfriend in the dick. I thought that was like fucking brutal. Yeah, just I had fun with this one. I like that they were going with the, you know, it's a different generation of horror and different rules and all that kind of stuff. So I just had more fun with this one, I guess. Of course, there are issues as well. The old towel removing fingerprints trick, which they pull in a few of these movies, in a lot of movies, that doesn't work, folks. That's not how you can't just slightly fluff a towel on a gun and suddenly have all the fingerprints gone.
Well, that too, but their logic, you think they would put the gun in the killer's hand to put his
Right.
prints on it.
Right.
And then why would the killer shoot him? Like, wait. You're making the cops question why this guy got shot point blank in the dick. Like, let's not do that. If you're going to falsify a crime scene, let's at least be realistic with it. It's like,
right.
Geesh.
Although for me, I don't know why, I really like the ending of this film. I love the scene where Emma Roberts is fucking herself up. Like it kind of reminds me of like Fight Club. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It reminds me a lot of Fight Club, and American Beauty also did that same thing. So I love that, and she really fucking goes for it. Like she fucks herself up, which is kind of a cool scene. And I thought it was like the hospital scene. Yeah, it is a little cheesy. Some of the lines are like, okay, you know, not the best. But I enjoyed it. It was different, you know, and that's something that I enjoy about it, because these movies rehash so many fucking storylines from, you know, the rest of the series. I thought it was cool to have something a little different. But again, it's a problem with this series. God, it's just the same shit over and over and over again. And that's one of the biggest problems with the Scream sequels in general, is they keep rehashing the same fucking things over and over. And especially when you binge them in like 2 days, you just see like you're basically watching the same movie with just little differences, and that's kind of annoying. And I kind of agree with Todd. I think Sydney's story has played out by this point, and I just don't care about her as much anymore by this point. It's like, okay, I just want to move on to, you know, other characters and everything. But of course, like Sam said, it's always fucking these new family members popping up in every movie. So yeah, still I enjoyed it way more than I expected for this watch, so it actually went up in my ranking.
Yeah, my only 2 notes I have specifically are I want to be in the cinema club, that'd be fun, and the terrible hospital scene. I agree with you. It's just in my opinion, I thought it was pretty poopy. And then my negatives are the killers again. Like Sam said, what's her name, Roberts, not really believable. Her motive is pretty weak. And then the boyfriend, I can get why the boyfriend or the love interest would want to come along. She's a hot chick and she's giving him attention, kill for me, blah, blah, blah. But then again, like you got, I like I said earlier, I need like more believable killers, more physically capable killers to take down some of these people in this. So yeah.
What exactly was her motive? It was just because Sydney was like
had all
the attention, right?
Yeah,
she had all the attention.
Famous.
Yeah.
Do you know
That's
how it
a pretty...
is to live with Sydney Prescott as your aunt?
Yeah, that's a really weak. That's a really weak motive.
You know what? So I thought of that too. Like it's a weak motive, but when I really reflect on it, that is so a thing now.
Yeah,
where
a kid would do it. Yeah,
where people are so desperate for attention that they will do anything. Eat Tide Pods, do whatever the fuck it is to get any type of attention. So I think,
it's a good point.
So I thought it was, even though it's stupid, it fits with the timeline of when this movie was released. So that is so I feel it's actually justified in a way because of that.
Why the fascination with two killers though in these? I mean, although Roman was only one. Roman was the only lone one.
Which that motherfucker had great cardio. Let's just put that back to
yeah, right.
But that is a problem. Why
go back to the well?
But that's all this fucking series is going back to the well.
Yeah.
So, and that's the problem.
Why would nerd dude kill his best bud, man? You got to imagine they're like having endless nights of horror movies, talking about their movie club, and he just kills him for that sucks.
Love, man. That's
love, I guess. Yeah. I fucking guess.
Yeah. I did enjoy the Stabathon
that was
scene
cool.
too. That was fun. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
I guess.
But honestly, to me, there's not like any memorable deaths in this one, like compared to like the other ones. Like I feel like this is the first one where nothing sticks out to me, like death wise. You know what I mean?
I can't even remember one.
It's all stabbings, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's like they're all just boring. The one that sticks out to me the most is when she gets thrown off the building, like after she's already dead, I think. But she gets like thrown and she lands on the news truck or whatever when doing his press conference. Yeah. But like even that's like nothing like great. Whereas like all the other three, I felt like all had like somewhat memorable kills, like even though they weren't great. Even though maybe some of the sequels weren't as great, but
they all put his foot down. Like, you are not a cop, Gail. I cannot give you this information. You're gonna blab it. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
And then Sydney, like, just fucking leave, man. Just leave. Remove yourself from the situation.
Yeah, I mean, but then like Sydney is Scream, right? Like, if you don't have her,
it doesn't have
can
to
you
be
really
though.
Continue on? I agree with that, right? But it's kind of like Jamie Lee, right?
No Sharon Stone, dude.
When Jamie Lee disappeared from the Halloweens, you need to have somebody that can carry that torch. And Danielle Harris did do it pretty good, I feel like, in 4 and 5. And then she is, I guess, in there in 6, and they do kill her eventually in 6. But then like after that, it's like, all right, well, where do we go from here? Which is why I think like they, this franchise kind of failed until they finally brought her back for H2O. Actually, did they even have anything after 6, or did they go right to H2O? I think it was H2O right after 6, right?
It was H2O.
Yeah. So they did bring it right
6
back.
And then Resurrection.
No, Resurrection's after. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because they destroy the ending.
That's right. Yeah. It wasn't him.
It was a paramedic.
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, like, all right, so if you don't have Sydney though, like, what do you do?
You just have these crazy people.
Just have like a new heroine.
Yeah, obsessed. Yeah. They obsess over Billy and Stu, because you have people like that marry these fucking serial killers in prison, like real life serial killers and shit like that. So I think you just guys have obsessive people either over the stab movies or Stu, and let's call it a day.
I'm calling it in 40 years or in 20 years we'll have like a rehash with Sydney back, like Halloween. This was that, which 5 kind of, we'll get into it when we do 5, but I guess 5 kind of is similar to that. They kind of try to copy it, which is like, why did they call it Scream? Like, I know we're not reviewing that now, but like, why are they doing that? Like,
because you scream when you get stabbed. Oh, it's
Scream 5. Why did they go back? They call it Scream 5 Scream again. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, make sense. I guess it kind of makes sense with Halloween, because like it had been like 40 years and like it's a rehash, but this one's like a sequel again. So it's like, why? I don't know. Whatever. We'll talk about when we get to it.
All right, I'm still at a 3 out of 5, but it's still a 6 out of 10. It's still worse than 3, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't nearly as bad as I had remembered it. It's definitely watchable. But to me, the weakest of the 4 we reviewed tonight. So still okay though. I'll give it a 6.5.
I'll give it a 6.
I like it a lot. So 7.5. I like it.
Polkin,
Very
Sam,
nice.
hot or not?
No.
No hot?
So
Long
what
hair?
are your Scream rankings now?
Mine's right as they're produced, 1 through 4.
Yep, same 1, 2, 3, 4.
Same, Sam?
Yep.
See, I'm not. I'm 1, 4, 2, 3. I really like.
All right.
1,
And
4, 2, 3.
It's funny
I
because
can see it.
I change.
2 years ago I was 1 through 4. Then I did the Don't Be Crazy podcast where we reviewed the first film, but I also talked about the series, and I changed it to 1, 2, 4, 3. And now watching it again, I'm going 1, 4, 2, 3. So I keep switching them. But that's because they're so fucking similar to each other in a lot of ways. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I'm interested where 5 is going to fall in all this. But all right.
Time you watch
Yeah.
it, I'll have part 6 out
Yeah, maybe. God.
with
Possibly.
Sam and I's pitch of the
Yep.
80-year-old grandmother and the 5-year-old stepson.
Yeah, I think this franchise will definitely continue. So whoever knows how many. So someone had wrote that they're making a trilogy like with these directors, which I had no idea about, but I don't know if that's accurate or not, but
Is it doing well?
Very well.
yeah, very.
That's good for horror, though. I'm fucking.
Yeah.
It is. It's great. Yeah,
Horror
it's
is
great.
always like big numbers. Like people need to
Yeah, it's
respect
great for
horror.
horror. I think it did 40 million opening weekend.
Yeah, if people
In a
like.
and we're in like a really high pandemic right now, so
Fuck,
like
it's insane right now, dude.
it's going crazy again. So 40 million during a pandemic, pretty impressive.
I'm glad it's doing well, and I'm glad people are enjoying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, can't wait to talk about that one because I got plenty of notes on that, and my daughter saw it, and she's a good critique on that one too, so it was fun.
Yeah.
And I told her after, I'm like, you and your friends, please don't plan like a mass killing because that's not cool. Because all the theme of these movies is like teenage girls and stuff or guys like planning killings. I'm like, all right, this is fucking scary.
Yeah, don't go killing your friends.
Yeah. Like, it's not fun.
Yeah. I'm excited to talk 5. We'll be talking about it soon.
Bring back Billy and Stu. I need them.
Yeah, February.
Somehow.
At worst, it will be like it hits VOD, and they said 45 days from the release. So at worst, we'll be reviewing it in a few weeks, probably. So
everyone time to see it.
Yes.
All right. So next week we are switching gears. We're going to a classic, and so we didn't really know what to do next week, to be honest. So I threw an out there because horror fan Ryan talks about this movie a lot. And I'm like, fuck it, let's just do it and review it. And that's 86, The Hitcher.
The Hitcher.
I've never seen it, so
Rutger Hauer.
Watch it.
Rutger Hauer, yeah.
He's great. You haven't seen it either, you and Steve? What about you?
I haven't seen it. I feel like I've seen Isn't there a remake? I think I've seen the remake.
2007. Yeah. So that's a good, it's a movie we haven't seen, most of us. So
You like
I might
it,
try
Todd?
to sneak the remake.
I do. I like it a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I have to buy it though. I thought I owned it. I don't, and it's not available VOD. So.
Oh, it is here.
Oh.
Yeah. You guys better. I'm sure Joe can find it. He's a wizard with that stuff.
Yeah.
As far as like traditional VOD, though, I couldn't find it. Amazon Prime doesn't have it either. It just has the remake, and then Tubi has the remake.
Tubi.
Oh, it's on the Canadian Crave. So that's why.
Son of a bitch, Crave.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, which is our HBO.
Is it really?
Max, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me look at my.
That's everything else.
Letterboxd doesn't have every service like.
No, it doesn't
yet.
It doesn't.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna buy this fucking DVD then anymore.
So So if you want to watch it, go get a free month of HBO Max for all our listeners. Everywhere else, otherwise you got to pay for it. But you can probably buy it for pretty cheap, right? Like probably $3.99.
$5 on DVD.
Yeah, that too.
Or the VHS, which I thought about getting too.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. Check out our Discord. It's always a good time over there. We're going to try to stay warm and not sickly, and we hope you guys do the same, and we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Oh.
I'm going to gut you like a fish.